My bad, I'm muted. But what's up, boys? What's up, Tanner? What's up, Fixie? What's up, Max? What's up, a take? Just like you got baked with your hood up? Facts. You're mute. I don't want to hear it. You're fucking muted, boys. I don't want to hear a single word out of your guys' mouth. No, you're muted, not me. Fuck you. What's up, Evan? How are you? How are we doing today? You know what I mean? Maybe I could like this a little bit lower, you know? A little bit lower. And then I could like, no, that won't work. That won't work. We'll figure out a better position for the mic later. But what is up, boys? What's up, Jules? What's up, Harrison? How are we today? Hi, Jacob. How are you today, buddy? What's going on? You gonna win MXB of Nations? I sure hope so. I think we got a good chance. We'll see what's gonna happen. Hopefully Skills ride's good. Hopefully Wavo ride's good, and I just got to do my job. I think if I can just win my class, I'll have done my job. So that's the goal. That's the goal going into MX of Nations, is just to win my class. If I can win my class, then I'll have done my job, and the rest will be up to my teammates, and hopefully some bad luck by Great Britain or any other country that does good there, and then hopefully we can win. You going to A1? I am going to A1. Are you going to A1, Max? I will purchase MX Spike. Sounds good, Drupa. Sounds very good. I'm chilling. How about you? I'm chilling. Ain't it tomorrow? I think it's Saturday. Is today Friday? No, today's Thursday. Yeah, it's on Saturday. So 2 days. I think. Let me check. Yeah. Anyways, boys. Nah, we're gonna kick your ass, Callum. Don't cap. Don't lie. We are gonna kick your ass. You guys are gonna lose. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You guys are going down. Like, it's that simple. Like, I mean, it's pretty simple to me, at least. Team New Zealand all the way. No. Callum's an L. If there's any Americans in chat right now, can we get some L's for Callum? Can we get some L's for Callum in chat? Any Americans, please? Just get some L's in chat for Callum. And in fact, get some L's for Motocross Cam 32 in chat as well, if you guys don't mind. When are you doing member posts and live streams again? Soon. What's up, Hearn? Fresh out of school, my boy. What's good, Ryder? Nothing much. What's good with you, Takuzi? How are you today? How's it going? You're an L, Callum. I don't want to hear it. You're just a walking L. Just a walking L, if I'm being honest. Let me see if a Doc is ready to do this thing. Me and Doc are going to be riding tracks together. Sheesh. I'm calling him now. See if he picks up. We'll see if he picks up the cell phone. He used to call me on my cell phone.
Oi!
Oi! What's good?
Oh, dude, I gotta put a mute button.
I think I still have mine. Let me see. Oh, maybe not. I think I unbound it.
Get a little bit unbound there, bruv. Where would that be? Oh, it'd be under keybinds. Thoughts on that?
Oh, you know.
Or wait, is it under keybinds?
It is. I'm gonna go to settings.
Add a keybind. Audio keybind. There you go.
Keybind.
Push to mute. Toggle mute.
Add keybind.
Boom. Done.
Go toggle mute, and we're
gonna
done. We're gonna go with that. Why not? And then we're going to save that thing there. We're going to go back to MX Bike. We're going to go to settings. We're going to unbind the trick button to something like Y. Okay. Alrighty, buddy. Are you, oh. Hello? Okay, it's not working. 1 second. One second, boyos.
Daddy?
Hello?
What's up?
You can hear me? Oh, it's working.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Sheesh.
Okay, Doki.
All right. Am I joining your lobby?
Oh, well, we're going to do a lobby for each 12 tracks? I thought we were going in testing. You know what?
I mean, we could.
You know what? No. Actually, no, I like your idea. I like your idea better anyways.
Or we could rotate. Like, I could throw a lobby up on round 2. That way we don't, thoughts?
Yeah.
Or
go
just.
Do that, silly goose.
All right. Here.
I'll just send you the password to all of the tracks. It's going to be, It's going to be that. That's what it's going to be. We're going to enlarge this.
Excuse me?
Hold on now.
I'm putting a lobby up on round 2.
Okie dokie.
My home track.
Up on round 1. And we're gonna go that. We're gonna go put it on 0 E-road. Are you racing a 250?
Yeah.
Okay. Put it on 250 only, 0 E-road, and disable collisions. That way we load in super duper fast. You know what I mean?
Okay. Wow. Didn't know that was a thing. 0 E-road. Where is collisions? Where would that be? Dad, help.
Oh, I don't know.
Under event? No. Under race? No. Hardcore.
I think. Let me see. I think it would be under. 1 second. Sorry. It would be under race.
Race. Okay. W. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Disable collisions.
Facts on God. Boys, is Doc loud enough for you guys? Let me know.
My cracked. That's my password, by the way, for everything. I just gave it to you.
Oh, Panda. You got to figure that out, buddy.
Panda?
You're just so silly and quirky. Yeah, just so silly and quirky. Depends on if Lynn stops playing Modern Warfare 2 and plays bikes because me and Hurls are ready for war. Facts on God. Do you see the new pick bike? No, I didn't. GB not going to win. Hate to break it to you boys. Facts, Hypes. That's what I've been saying. I've been saying that, Hypes.
It's gonna be a pretty close race, I'm not gonna lie.
No, we're winning, Doc. Come on now. We're going to win.
I mean, I believe.
We're going to win.
I believe.
You're just a hater. Just a hater.
W game crash right out of the gate.
Yes, sir. Sure. Callum, you're an L. Hypes is a W. Callum's an L, if I'm being honest. But, hey, here we are. Put that hoodie down? No, I didn't even shower today, so my hair is fucked. Also very comfy, so.
What am I doing? Oh, your dad.
Did you like my dad? Did you like meeting him? Did you enjoy it?
Yes. Yeah. When do I wish I didn't live 4,000 miles away so I could come sit in his lap, for Christmas.
Oh, I wish I could sit in his lap too, but.
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's fine. Are you grinding tonight with me?
Bro, you know I'd grind with you any night, baby.
Okay, stop.
Does that even need to be asked at this point?
Yeah. Are you playing Modern Warfare? That's the question. Tonight.
Oh no,
Midnight.
no! I don't have a long enough mouse.
You're such
My
an
mouse
L.
cable's not long enough. So
If you would have asked, I would have mailed you my mouse, another mouse. I have two.
Doc, you don't have a mouse.
But I have two. I have mouses. Meese.
It's
Mises.
Misai.
Misai.
Tell Reaper to not have a server on round 2 aerial. Why?
Tell whoever said they get barked on.
Doc says to get barked on. You bozo. You absolute clown. You just absolute L of a human being. Hi, Doc's chat.
Hello.
Hi. Alright, are you in yet, you bozo?
Terrain deformation 795.
Golly, you just take forever, why don't you?
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm in. Yeah, let's go. What is this track? Why am I in a husky? Oh, it's chalked. It's fine. It's fine. We're
Doc,
good.
where are you?
Isn't
Doc!
I'm right behind you.
I lost you. Oh, there you. Whew, you scared me. I thought we. I thought you were
just
gone.
went through you.
So, guys, this is round 1 of the 2022 Aerial Championship here. Fox Raceway won.
Facts.
And yeah, what were your thoughts when this track first came out, Doc?
Well, I was significantly doo-doo at the game when this came out. I mean, like, still am, but like even more. And so I thought this was the hardest thing I had ever been on my hardest track I'd ever ridden in my life.
yeah.
And and it was like I didn't really vibe with it. Plus, they only put like little RD banners on the side, not big ones. So, you know, that's an L.
Yeah, no, you're spitting facts right now. Oh, I forgot.
This corner
inside there. I forgot.
Yeah, this corner was awful.
Oh,
hello. We're twins.
It is kind of weird to see how much the scaling has changed throughout the year and how it's gotten bigger and how much rougher the tracks have gotten throughout the year. Because you go back to this track, this track seemed rough and hard and lots of ruts and all this stuff. And then you go to a track now, like the last round, which is the best thing to compare is Fox Raceway 1 to Fox Raceway 2 because they're basically the same track. And you see how much rougher and bigger it is, but at the end, people are saying that the tracks are smooth. And I think that's just a statement to how much better people have gotten over the season. Whereas at the beginning,
agree.
Harrison, thank you for the $2. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very much. Or the £2, euros, whatever. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Thank you, Harrison. That means a lot, buddy. Anyways, because at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, people were calling this track hard. And then at the end of the year, they were calling Fox Raceway 2 smooth, or the last few tracks smooth. But then you compare this to the last track, and it's like, well, this is a lot easier and smaller scale and a lot less rough. So I think people's minds can be skewed.
It's actually interesting. I haven't ridden this track for a really long time, and I've been riding a lot of Fox 2. And yeah, this track it's like very smooth.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that didn't render in for me. Holy.
So, do you want to do 1 lap on each track? Do you want to do 2? Do you want to? What is the plan today, Mr. Doc?
I don't know. I just think just until we get a vibe for it. I mean, I'm down for whatever.
Okay, dokie. Doki walkie.
Oh, tell me. Let me write this down because I'm an absolute goober. What were the ratings we were doing again? Like, what were we doing?
Oh yeah.
I'm opening a Word doc here on stream here. Word document.
So, Mr. Dokiwaki, the ratings, the categories that we have today to rate the tracks. Move this. My boom arm is annoying me. I moved the position of it, and now I can't get it back in a position I like. Anyways, the categories that we have today to rate the tracks are number 1, and I feel like this is also the most important thing in rating replica tracks, is realism. And I think I mean, obviously that's the most important part in a replica track is how realistic it is in terms of riding it. Not necessarily in terms of looks, not necessarily in terms of scaling, but just in terms of riding it, ruts, jumps, hills. I guess, yeah, scaling, I guess. Yeah, scaling. All of that stuff goes into realism. The next part would be, and I feel like is the second most important part in tracks that are made for a racing series, which would be raceability. I feel like that's obviously very, very important in on a series on tracks that are made to be raced on. The third category would be the fun factor. The fun
factor.
The fun that you have on the track. If it's fun, I mean, that's bonus points for us, obviously. If it's not fun, then I don't know why you would want to ride it. And the last but not least, well, actually, it is the least. Last, most important category is the environment, which does go a long way into immersion and making you feel like you're virtually riding a dirt bike. But obviously, in my opinion, the things above environment are more important. But I still feel like environment's pretty important, especially like textures and because imagine this whole thing. Do you remember when he did the Fox Raceway test track? Imagine it had that little of an environment, like no banners, no track markers, no trucks. It would look pretty plain. It kind of suck, to be honest with you. So the environment is important, boys. As much as it doesn't seem like it is important.
Facts. Immersion is a thing.
Yes, that is. Anyways, that is the categories, and we'll all be writing them down. Docs, you being a kiddo and doing them on Google Docs, but I'm an old man apparently.
I'm doing it on Word. What do you mean, Google Docs?
Word. Wow, just so new school of you. Millennials, am I right, boys? Like millennials. It's like come on now.
It's like.
Do they not know how to use paper and pen? Like paper and pen. Like, oh my gosh, millennials these days. So
Joe Rogan says the only good track was Iron Man. Thoughts on that?
I think that's disrespect to Iron Man because that track was pretty mid. We'll see when I race it. Ryder, from now on, you have to call me a W? No. You're a W. All right, Doc. Do you want to give this a rating? Or do you want to ride a few more minutes? What's the plan here?
I just muted. I'm down to rate this as we move to the next track.
All right. Let me get an overview of this track here in a replay mode as I rate it. Okay, so let me get my pen and paper out, my pencil and pen. So for the first track of the day, round one of the 2022 Aerial Pro Motocross Series, would be Fox Raceway 1. And
yes, sir.
Let's go here. So, for realism, I am going to give it not that high of a score, to be honest, because for one, the scaling is off. Especially, I feel like on these hills here are a little bit off. They're not...
A little small?
Yeah, a little small. Here, they were doubling down this hill here, like a step down. You weren't able to do that. This triple step up here, look how tiny it is. It's the tiniest thing. Like in real life, this thing is massive. It's huge, and this is like the smallest freaking jump in the world. These rollers aren't quite right at all. Like that's not how it was IRL at all. So realism. Oh, and this triple before the finish, not even close either. Yeah, no. And this too. This they were doubling over this hill, and this is just like a kind of dragon's backy weird thingy here, rough section. So there's a lot of things that are off about this track that aren't really real. So this is like a double here, but yeah. Anyways, what do you have to say about the realism? Oh wait, no, are we not? We're not going to tell each other, huh?
Yeah, no, we're not telling each other till the end. There was a little secret.
All right, I'm gonna mute up, and then I'm gonna tell chat when I'm writing everything.
All right, same.
Alrighty, boys. I'm gonna get you guys overall rating, not for like every category, but for like realism, I probably give it like a 5, right dab in the middle, a 5. I mean, could be a lot better, could be worse though, could be worse to be honest. I am a fan of the smaller scaling. Like this more 1-to-1 scaling I am a fan of. However, even then, like this should be bigger, the hill should be bigger. I just like the skinnier track, smaller scaling. I'm a fan of that. I know a lot of people aren't. Wait, am I muted? Yeah, yeah. Anyways, that is what I'm going to give the realism. Up next we have raceability. And once again, not the best. So hold on. For realism, I'm gonna give it a 5. And raceability up next, which is another very, very important thing for racing tracks. This track was pretty one-line. And again, this is where the 1-to-1 scaling hurts the score. Because when you have smaller scaling, the tracks are skinnier, therefore less room to race, therefore less lines to work with. This corner was all one-lined. In real life, they were taking every line here. Basically, the whole track was...
I think it's fun to just kind of burn laps on. But honestly, after Fox 2 came out, like there's no reason I would ever touch this track. So it's fun now compared to some of the others. No, it really is not bad, but I'd much rather ride another track. Right. That's kind of how I feel too, Pitt. Is like
okay, I'm gonna deafen. Anyways. Yeah, the whole track. I'm trying to find one spot where the track was two lined, and I can't really find one. Oh, right here was the only spot where there was two lines. You could go middle or you could go outside, but that was it, the entire track. Oh, yeah, and right here. You could go outside or inside here and that little kink. But that's it. There's basically two corners where you could take two lines, and that was it. The rest of the track was extremely one-lined, skinny, hard to pass on. You basically had to wait for a mistake. Yeah, so again, on the raceability, I'm going to have to give it like a 4 on the raceability, if I'm being honest. 4 for raceability. Up next, we have fun, and this is where it gets a higher score for me. So the fun factor, I really like the fun. I really like this track. It's fun for me, especially just riding by yourself and testing. It is a fun track for me, and yeah, I'm gonna give the fun factor on this track like an 8. And last but not least, we have the environment rating, and I think it's a good environment. Especially over here, you have like the vet track. That's pretty cool. I mean, he didn't put much effort into the vet track, but it's just cool. It's a good environment. Pit's over here. It's pretty good. Nothing to write home about. Nothing too special, but it is a good environment, and I'm gonna give it like a 7. Alrighty. So let me get my phone out. Where is my phone? Where did I put my phone? I want a calculator. Phone. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, if we add those up, 5 plus 4. Oh. 5 plus 4 plus 8 plus 7 equals 24, and we divide it by 4, and we get the average is 6. So, boys, overall, the track gets a 6. Let's see what you guys... I forgot to do a poll. Let me see what you guys said here. Fox 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, 10. All right, let me see what you guys think about Fox 1. Who's number 36? It's Grant. Let me see if Panda has. No, he hasn't. It is Mr. Panda. Anyways. Yeah, let me undeafen it in Discord. Doc, you still raiding the truck?
I'm switching tracks at the moment.
Okie dokie. All right, chat agrees. Chat agrees. Cool. I'm gonna Alt F4 and join docs thingy.
All right, I'm in on the hometown track here, gentlemen.
Let me put this up on. Start that up. Okie dokie, doc.
Oh my gosh, this track. This is another. I know you're not here yet, so I don't want to talk too much. But this track's another interesting one.
Can you send me the password?
I did. I DM'd it too.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Oh.
Do I got any goldfish? No.
You don't have any goldfish?
I need some. I need some more. Actually, boys, I have some in the pantry. I'm gonna go get a napkin. I'm gonna go grab the goldfish while I am sinking in.
Oh,
BRB.
just grab the box, man. We're grinding today.
Doc, I want to grind all over you.
Stop.
Sweet.
Okay, are you a goldfish guy or a cheese guy?
I didn't have. Oh, sorry, Doc. Let me mute.
No. Oh.
I didn't have goldfish, so I got Ritz. Nice. Kind of a mid snack, but better than nothing. I am a little bit hungry here, so we're gonna deal with her. Know what I mean? Alrighty. Anyways.
Hey, are you taking Cheez-Its or are you taking goldfish?
I got Ritz crackers.
You're just eating Ritz crackers.
Uh-huh.
They're
pretty good.
You got any water with that, or you're just gonna have a dry mouth all night?
Got some wine.
Oh my gosh! There's no shot you're drinking your Ritz crackers and wine.
Sure, why not?
Well, is it like red wine or white wine?
It's pink wine. It's for the ladies.
Pink wine? Yeah, I was gonna say my wife likes the pink stuff. Oh.
Alrighty, Doc.
Are you here? Are you in?
I am.
This is okay. So what I was saying, This is another one of them tracks that's like, I don't know, it's so weird. Like, I think it's rough in such a strange way. It's like, it's really smooth but choppy, and that like choppiness where you just lose your front end everywhere. Thoughts?
It is to me. This is one of the hardest tracks on the schedule, and everybody calls it easy. I don't understand where they're coming from. This track is hard to me.
I feel like it's easy to get around, hard to go fast on. That makes sense?
That does.
Like,
100%.
it's much easier to do a lap on this track than Thunder Valley. You know, like just like it's a lot easier to just go around this track than Thunder Valley, but it's harder to go fast on this track. Well, that Thunder Valley is just the hardest track in the world, but
Thunder Valley's just Thunder Valley.
Yeah, facts.
I find this track hard for some reason. Very hard. I think it's how square-edged it is and how it's not very rounded. Nothing is rounded. Like, everything is sharp.
Facts. Facts.
You know what I mean? Even the landings, the transitions, the jumps, the bumps, ruts, everything is sharp. Nothing's rounded. Nothing has, like, a smooth transition. I think that's why.
Plus, the RD banners are pretty short, so that's an L. You know what I mean?
Honestly.
But this is where Juice almost became the talk of the game.
You gonna take
Get barked on. Yeah, sorry.
Jeez Louise. Oy. Yeah, this is when the new tires just came out, and I really wasn't used to them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did round 1 on the old tires, huh?
Yep.
Also, the Fly 150s, like a Fly 1.5.
Well, yeah, but they didn't have it in real life that year.
It was still quite large.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I was there. Wait, no, I wasn't there.
So you lied. You liar. Jeez Louise. Round 2 is Mucho Funno. You're actually wrong on that one, Darius. You're actually a liar. And we don't like liars around here. You know what I mean? Doc, if I can ask you something.
Yes, Dad.
What were your first thoughts when this track came out? Like, what are your general impressions of it when it first came out? Compared to now?
I was pretty disappointed, I think, because I wanted Hangtown to be. Well, actually, hold on. Let me back that up. I think I really liked this track when it dropped.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I think when it first dropped, compared to round 1, I was super into this track. Yep. And now it's an L. Well, I don't know if I want to. I don't know. It's just. I guess it's just mid.
For me, I was in love with this track, especially when it was rough. So remember, they smoothed this track out the next day.
Yes.
Race on the smooth version.
Yeah, that's right.
And so originally this track was very, very rough, and I loved it. And I was comparing times to everybody else, and I was like 2 seconds faster than anybody else, and I was in love with it. I was like, oh, this is my shit. Now time to make a comeback on skills. But yeah, they ended up smoothing it out, and that's when they smoothed it out, and I started struggling on it more than I did with the roughness. And I think it's because it picked up the pace, and it still had that like sharpness to it. So it's like I just struggled with it. It just became more difficult almost. And even though the other version of the track was technically more difficult because it was a lot more rough and way easier to crash, it's just like it sped up the pace almost. You know what I mean, when they smoothed the track out.
I think one thing that this track has going for it though is Hangtown's layout is just like amazing. So like it's still like I do enjoy getting on the track and just turning laps because Hangtown's layout is just so good.
Oy. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Hangtown's layout is good. It's just going back on it. It's just the track seems almost a little bit bland.
Mood, yeah. The environment's well. Okay, so wasn't this the week that didn't Sony get hurt?
Yeah, Sony didn't make this track. And the track just seems a little bit bland. I'm not talking about the environment. I'm talking about the track itself. Just seems. I don't know. It It almost seems like they went bigger scaling this week. It definitely feels bigger scaling, but just without the roughness. So it's like you didn't add the detail with the bigger scaling that you had with the smaller scaling, I feel like.
Right.
Almost, you know what I mean?
I feel like the scaling's a lot better, other than the fly 1.5. But the roughness realism part of it is off.
Brother, the fly 1.5 is like that IRL. I've been there too when the fly 150 wasn't there, dog. It's both of our home tracks, you bozoid.
That's true, right? That's fair.
It's not that bad. Hold on. Let me go hit it one more time.
It's pretty small.
Listen, I know we both hear that a lot. That doesn't mean you need to keep bring it up all the time.
Oh my gosh, that was sick. The fly 150 inches. Thanks. Yeah, I just did a wheelie all the way up the hill back there, and that was sick.
What also made this track difficult is the section after the fly 150 inches. The triple into the rollers. That part was very difficult, and then the jumping to the inside rut is difficult, and that made this track hard as well. That added its level of stress. Every time I got to that part on the track, I was fucking stressed out. It's like, fuck, here we go again.
So probably part of the issue too with the fly 150 inches is the run up is so big to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well,
like if it was a little bit, I don't know, scaled a little bit better. I don't know. That's all. That's probably my only complaint with the size of everything. Like as far as the scaling is just that.
Yeah.
Everything else seems good.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm ready to rate. Are you ready to rate?
Yep.
I'm gonna mute up then. Ho.
All right.
Anyways, boys. Let's see what we got here. So, this is Hangtown, round 2 of the 2022 Aerial Pro Motocross Series. When the track first came out, it was not released by Stone Ryder because he was hurt, I think, or something like that, broke his hand. And so he had his track crew.
Ryder's gonna do his thing.
I'm gonna definitely.
And that.
So he had his track crew help him out and build the track for him since he was hurt. And so it was a different style to Stoney's usual tracks. So, basically, this track, yeah, like I said, is different. The ruts are built different. The bumps are built different. Jumps, everything. It's all different than what we're usually used to, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something different, and we weren't used to it. And that automatically made the track a little bit harder. Then the next day, Stone Ryder smoothed it out after he got home from somewhere. Like, he smoothed it out. He improved some ruts, did some things. And, yeah, so the whole base layout and the whole base of the track was made by somebody else, but then Stone Ryder came back and, did some detailing on it. And almost made the track easier in a way. And at that point, we raced the track on the smooth track, on the smoother version of the track, and it raced all right. So let's get into the ratings. The realism part of the track, I think, is very good, especially going up this hill here. The scaling is nice. It feels big. It feels steep, just like it is in real life. This part feels nice. Yeah, the scaling is very, very good, especially through this section. This scaling on this section in particular, very, very good. Realism part, very, very good. Where I'd say it isn't realistic is there's no bumps coming into here. Real life, even on TV, you can see the massive bumps coming into this corner in real life, the second corner or third. You can see the huge, massive bumps after this tabletop coming into this corner. In real, even on TV, not even just in person, you see how massive they are. The ruts they got right. The bumps, no, especially getting into that corner. Could have been a little bit rougher here too. Down here, the roughness was actually all right. It does get a little bit choppy like this and not the hugest bumps in real life. So this part is honestly not that bad. To be honest with you. Other than that, come up here. The whole track just could have had a little bit more bumps and roughness, to be honest. This part was nice. The realism, I will say, is pretty all right. Nothing to write home about, nothing gnarly. I'm going to give it a pretty high score. I'm going to give it a I'm going to give the realism part of round 2 a 8. All right. I'm giving the realism an 8. For the raceability, again, pretty one-line, but it is wider. Here, there's multiple lines in this corner. Same with here in this section. Where else? Oh, this corner. Raceability actually wasn't too bad at all, if I'm being honest. It got real tight through here, but it does in real life too, so I guess that plays into the realism factor. Here. It was honestly not that bad. It was, again, not the best, though. I'm going to give it a 7 for the raceability. I'm going to give it a 6. 6 for raceability. Up next, we have the fun factor. And for me, this is where it really falls off. Me personally, I do not like this track. I do not have fun on this track. Let me ask you guys what you think of round 2 Hangtown as well. Real quick before we get into more of the rating. 1 through 3, 4 through 6, 7 through 9, and a 10. Okay. So, let me see what you guys think. Anyways, yeah, it just wasn't that much fun to me. I would never honestly come into this track on testing and play it on my own, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I did not have fun on this track. I'm giving it like a 3 for fun factor. Up next, we have environment. And again, not the best. Again, it was rushed and not built by Stone. In my opinion, the environment's not that good, especially anywhere that's not on the track. Like the banners, okay, that's all right. But anywhere off the track, like on here, look how like barren this is. And I don't know. Like, what is this? What is that? Aerial sign and 2 tents. You know what I mean? I mean, again, environment's not that important. It's more about the track, I know. But again, I'm going to give it like a 3 again, if I'm being honest. And you know what? I'm going to go back and give the raceability a 7. No, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping to my guns. I'm keeping it at a 6. Anyways, let me get my phone out and calculate the average. 8 plus 6 plus 3 plus 3 equals 20. Divided by 4 equals a 5 overall. What did you guys? Yeah, you guys put it in the same range, 5. So, only 36% of you guys put it in the 4 through 6 range. A lot of you guys put it in the 1 through 3 range. Interesting. A lot of you guys put it in the 7 through 9 range as well. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it is poop water. I agree, Hemi, 100%. I gave it a 5 out of 10. Let me see if Doc is done rating Hangtown. Docky Walkie, you done? You still rating?
I'm loading into your track.
Okay.
I'm loading into Thunder Valley.
Okie dokie. I'm about to load in as well.
I keep unmuting on accident because my drone button to like go faster in my drone is my mute button.
Oh, okay.
So sorry if I'm just like randomly yelling at you.
No worries. I love getting yelled at. How do you make the thumbnails? I make them through Photoshop. I don't know. I just go in there, take some screenshots, do some photoshopping, and then I make them. Round two through 4 are all 1 to 3 in my opinion. You're not wrong. Yeah. Ryder, when are you uploading part 2 to the aerial videos? Next month. Next month. Races at Cardiff later? Maybe. Maybe. Anybody downloading COD tonight when it releases? Anybody? Hi, Panda. That makes sense.
I am in, my friend.
When I use both bike lean and rider lean, it leans too sharp. Then don't use both. Modern Warfare 2 going to be inside. So I really want to download Modern Warfare 2. However, my mouse cable is not long enough because I recently moved my computer onto my desk on the other side of the desk. It used to be on the floor on the other side, and my mouse cable.
Wait, how is there somebody in this lobby?
It was probably Panda. Oh, it's probably Panda.
Oh, okay. His name is just different. Is he gonna get in the call?
Let me ask. Does he want? I'll add him. Okay. Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, my mouse cable. It's not long enough. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's not long enough. It goes across my keyboard and it's like fully stretched out, basically.
Why don't you play controller?
Wait, am I not muted?
No.
Oh. Anyways.
Anyway, why don't you play controller?
That's a good idea. You're not wrong. Maybe I should. Until my new mouse.
Yeah,
I haven't even ordered a new mouse, but I probably should. Anyways, how far away is your PC? It's like 2 feet away. It's just not a very long cable. It's here.
It's got that.
It's like this
short one.
Yeah, it's a very, very short cable.
Hey.
Hi, Mr. Panda. How are you?
Good. Totally good. Totally.
Am I not muted?
No, you're not.
Bro. Is my mute button broken now? Anyways. Let's go gameplay.
What's up, Panda?
Hola.
How
are you, sir?
Bruh. Good.
Oh,
Good.
are you streaming?
Oh, I have it all set up though.
Is he gonna be a big grinder now?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Are you in this lobby, Panda?
Yeah.
What do you think of this track? Oh my! Almost died.
It's worse than Hangtown.
Oh, my phone.
Worse than Hangtown.
On God.
You guys don't like this track?
No.
Well, I mean, I'm not that fond of it either. I'm surprised you guys don't, though, I guess.
I hate this track. With a passion.
Why?
Does anybody in chat actually like Thunder Valley?
Actually, yeah. At least on my end, there's a bunch over here that are liking it.
Bro, there's no shot.
You got some weird people in your chat today, then, dog.
Yeah. It's just not fun.
Okay, I will say, like, I think what throws it off for me is like the roughness just seems random. It seems like they had like a roughness button on a scroll wheel and they just like went around the track. It just clicked.
Yep.
Like there's no like rhyme or reason to anything.
Yeah, no, and I said that too. I think I was saying that to you, in fact, when this track first came out, or maybe it was after the race or something like that. But it's like the track, the roughness does not make sense. He just has a roughness button, like you said, and he held it down where it should be rough, but he didn't like actually put thought into the bumps. He didn't actually like put thoughts into any of the roughness. He just held it down, and it's just, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. And especially it doesn't work with the physics at all. Am I muted?
No, you were not.
Bro, I think my mute button is just...
It's okay, I don't really care. I'll just get a deafen button, so when I want you to mute, I'll just mute you myself.
Bet.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna get into the ratings here, I think. Maybe another lap.
I can get into them pretty quickly too.
Okay. You ready to rate? Well, let me ask you something. What did you first think when the track first came out? Personally.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I struggled on this track so bad. Well, I think I was even more doo-doo then than I was. Well, okay, so for me, what happened was we did the Fox test race, and I got an ego because I did well there, and I thought I was something, and then round 1 came, and I got humbled, and round 2 came, and I got humbled more, and I was really humbled on this track, and I think I lost a lot of, like, confidence in myself, because this track was just way over my ability level.
Gotcha, yeah. What about you, Panda? What did you first think when the track came out?
I had so much confidence. I thought I could have podiums. But
Did you?
no,
Wow.
How did you do here? Do you remember?
I went 9-6.
So that's actually not a podium.
Yeah, I know. I felt so good on it, and then just bad start, I guess. Bad brain. Skill issue.
Facts. Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to rate.
Yeah, I am too.
All right,
Okay.
I'll mute up.
Alrighty. So, what I would have to give this track for realism. Let's see. Let me get my pen and paper out here. So I'm just old school like that. Freaking millennials. Anyways,
What?
let me get that out. I'm going to deafen up in
No.
Discord. Okay. I'm going to give... Hold on, let me... do that. Do this. Okay. Yes, that is Reaper-Doc. So here is the track. It takes place on a hillside. Been there in real life. It was a really cool race in real life. This hill is a lot steeper than a lot of people think. It looks way different in real life than it does on TV. Way bigger. This hill is huge. I mean, in game they actually got it pretty good, to be honest. But even then, it's it's even probably a little bit steeper in real life. Anyways, for realism, let's see. Realism, I would give it. Especially with the randomness of the bumps, not that high of a score. The scaling's definitely better than round 1, I would say, 100% better. The scaling on this track is where the scaling started to get good, I feel like. Yeah, no, it's just what brings it down is the randomness of the roughness, the ruts, some of the drums. It's just, I'm gonna give it a 5 on realism. Number for raceability, again, it's gonna be low just because people couldn't even make it around this track. People were crashing all the time. It didn't work with the physics. You got proposal physics everywhere. You couldn't even race here because people were always on the ground. Yeah, it wasn't, and again, it was pretty one-lined. This section was 2-lined, but everywhere else was pretty one-lined, I would say. Let me think about anywhere else. This corner you could go middle or outside. But yeah, anywhere besides those was all one-lined. So again, I'm going to have to give it a low score just because you couldn't even race on it because everybody was crashing all the time. So I'm going to give it like a 4 for raceability. Let's see. Up next, we have the fun factor. This is my least favorite track of the entire series, and so in terms of fun, and so it's probably getting like a 1 for me. I hate this track. I actually hate it. So 1 for fun factor for me. You guys might feel different. Let me ask what you guys think about Thunder Valley as well in chat because I always forget. Round 3. Thunder Valley. 1, 2, 3. It's an all right track. Not the best though. In my opinion, it's the worst. So that's just me. Yeah. So for fun factor, I'm giving it a 1. And for environment's not bad. Environment's actually pretty good. It could have been this hill here could have been had more grass. It has more grass in real life. Has some rock here as well, but yeah, no, that's not a big deal. Track itself had a good environment, good pits. Yeah, environment's fine. I'm giving it the environment like a 7. So let's see what that average comes out to be. 5 plus 4 plus 1 plus 7 equals 17. Divided by 4 equals a 4.25. Overall is a 4.25. Okay. The lowest score so far. And up next we have High Point. Alt F4 out of this. Hopefully Doc's server is up. You guys put it a 1 through 3. I would agree. It's just my averages aren't coming out to that. Like if I were just to rate it like as is, my averages would my averages just aren't coming out to that. But if I were to rate it as is, it would be a 1 through 3 for sure. Yeah, 55% of you say 1 through 3. Wow. Nobody said 10. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad you guys are not idiots. I love you guys for that. That's why I'm here. It's because you guys are just so smart. If I'm being honest. Like, come on now. Anyways, let me undeafen. Alrighty.
All right, bruv. I'm back.
How are you?
Yeah, trying to load in again. This stuff would be so much easier if bikes didn't take 9 months to load into something.
I agree.
And there wasn't a game crash every time.
Yeah.
It's all right, though.
Well, up next, boys, we have round 4 High Point. And, yeah, this track... Do you know the story behind that, Doc? Like the whole story?
No, this is when I was in Alaska, so I missed this round. This is the only round I missed.
Well...
So why don't you enlighten me, darling?
The story goes like this, sweetheart. Essentially, what happened was... Stone Ryder got COVID or something? Something happened. And he ended up making the track in 12 hours.
W.
And so, as you guys are about to see when we load into this track...
In 3 months?
Yeah, in 3 months. The quality of it is not the highest. It looks very last second. It looks put together. It's... you can see a significant drop-off in quality.
Is Panda muted?
I don't know. Probably.
I tried to say hi to his mom, but...
Facts. I want to say hi to his mom.
Just...
I mental.
Almost got me there. Anywho.
Anyways. Yeah.
Anywho.
You can see a significant drop-off in quality in this track. You loaded in yet?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm still on track.
That would be too easy, wouldn't it?
Yeah. However, I do like this track.
Do you? Didn't you do well here, though?
Yeah, I got my first one here. I just like High Point in general. Even like last year's High Point. Oh, you said you'll be back? Huh?
No. I'm loaded in.
Oh, anyways, even last year's High Point, a lot of people didn't like that track either. I just liked it as well. I just like High Point. I like the layout. And even if the quality was down, I just had fun on the track and I enjoyed it and I felt comfortable on it. So the fun factor is probably going to be a high rating for me whenever I do get around to that. But
yeah.
That's why we have other categories. That way I'm not biased.
That's fair. That's like how I felt with Hangtown. I rated that one probably higher because I enjoyed that layout so much.
Yeah. Anyways,
I
boys.
probably have maybe an hour of time on this track.
Really?
Yeah, I
That is
did
it?
not play it at all. Yeah.
Jeez.
I like don't even know the lines.
Yeah, it's, as you guys can see, it's very, there's no
Green.
ruts. Where are the ruts? You just go around flat corners. There's bumps in the corners. Why are the corners so bumpy? Why is there no ruts? And why is it like we're going through braking and acceleration bumps in the corners? It's like we're going through a whoop section mid-corner. It's pretty bland. Nothing really going on. What is that now?
Environment's hot.
5 corners now without a rut. Now it's going to be 6 corners. Here we go. The first ruts that we've seen so far, and look how tiny they are. They're like nothing. And they don't even hold you. They're like weirdly shaped. Not much thought. Again, you can tell this track was built in 12 hours. When he said this track was built in 12 hours, you could definitely tell it was built in 12 hours.
I mean, that's kind of impressive, though, to be honest.
Yeah, it is impressive, not going to lie. It's just... Yeah, it's just
how was the racing here? Like, did it race well?
In my opinion, it did. Just because... So I've always been, even in real life, I've always had a theory that when there's no ruts, the racing gets better. So if you go back and look at old Supercross races with like Ricky, James, Reed, McGrath, even a little bit later, like Villapoto, Reed, Stewart, and Kennard and Barsha, all of them, Dungey. You go back and look at them.
Ew.
Not late Dungey, like early Dungey. You go back and look at them, the tracks, especially Supercross, not necessarily outdoors, but Supercross especially had no ruts in it. It was all hard packed like dirt, and you slid around the bull corners and no ruts. And you look at the racing and what they're able to do, they have so much more freedom on the track. They're able to move around so much more and play with each other and not get completely T-boned because they're not locked into a rut. So if they see somebody about to take away their line, they just hit the back brake and cut under. And now you're locked into a single line. It's like slot car racing, and with the new Supercross. And why is there especially in Supercross, there doesn't need to be that much ruts in Supercross. Outdoors, yeah, I get it. I mean, it's natural and stuff. But even like old school, like Reed Carmichael, James Stewart, Chad Reed, those guys. Outdoors, they had no ruts because they would use the natural dirt. They wouldn't bring in this loamy, soft stuff and dig it up. They would just leave it natural dirt. And it was more natural. So you'd have a lot of hard pack tracks, and sometimes you'd have soft tracks as well. But you would get a lot less ruts because they weren't trying to get ruts. They were just trying to leave the tracks natural. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say. They wouldn't bring in this perfect dirt. They would just leave the dirt natural. And you could see there was so much more freedom in the way that they could move their bike around the track, and the racing was better, in my opinion. And so I've always been a fan of that, and I think the racing here was a little bit better than the other tracks, in my opinion.
Okay.
What do you think about that theory there, Doc?
Yeah, I mean, the less ruts, just the skill level's a bit lower, so more people.
Obviously,
yeah. It just makes more people actually able to compete. So that makes sense.
Yes, but I feel like in terms of, like, let's say 2 guys are the same speed and there's no ruts, or, not very many. It just opens up the track. There's freedom. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, you can move around a bit more, and that's fair.
It's just the racing. You go look at that. Like I'll go look at like old race footage every now and then. It's like the way that they would race each other is so much different to how they race each other now. So much different. Now it's like you wait behind a guy until he makes a mistake almost, because you're all locked into a rut.
I died.
Anyways.
Yeah, but this track's quite mid.
Yeah, it is very mid. Anyways, I'm ready to rate. Are you?
Oh yeah, very much ready to rate.
All right, I'm gonna do so now then. All right, let me get what chat thinks before I get into my grading. That way I remember. So we got round 4, high point. Uh, 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9. 10. Okay. Let's go here. Let's go here. Alrighty, boys. So this is High Point. Even just from the aerial shot here, you can see that it's pretty bland, pretty boring. Not much effort put into it. I mean, obviously you only had 12 hours, so there's no ruts. There's ruts in this corner, and there's ruts in this corner. I'm assuming you started on this side of the track, because this side is so much more... Look at this detail here. Look how much more detailed this side of the track is compared to anywhere else on the track. Look at this detail. Ruts, bumps, ruts. Then you come to here, and it's like, what is this? Look at... What is this? What is this? What is this? What is that? What is that? And that? What is that? And that? What? Anyways. Again, it looks like, again, because he was rushed, he didn't have much time to put thoughts into the bumps. Let's get into the scoring, though. Let's go with realism, first and foremost, because that is the most important part of a replica track. So the realism is going to be very low for me, because obviously High Point is a ruddy track. The bumps aren't like this at all. There's not a whoop section mid corner. Like, why are we having whoop sections mid corner? No. Not much detail. Yeah. Realism not going to be very high for me. Like this jump. What is this jump? The scaling on this jump is so... Look at how tiny this is compared to real life. Jesus. Yeah, no. So, realism is going to get a 3. No, less than that. 2. Up next, we have raceability, which is important in a racing track for a racing series. And once again, it was all right. Looking back on it, there wasn't many places to pass on. And actually looking back on it, there wasn't... Racing actually here wasn't that good at all. Now that I think about it, it really wasn't good. Yeah, actually, the racing was actually pretty trash, if I'm being honest. I'm going to give it a 3 for racing. Up next, we have fun. And personally, I have a lot of fun on this track. This is just my personal opinion. It's probably just because I won here. But I have fun on this track. I like this track. Sometimes I'll come in here and I'll play it. I know it's probably an L opinion. I know. But that's why I'm rating. You guys can rate your own. That's why I'm making the polls. Jeez Louise. But fun factor, I'm giving it a higher score. Giving it like a 7. And next up, we have environment, and that's getting a 1. Like, automatically a 1. The environment is very bad. Like, look at this section. What is that? Use the same trees over here. Like, even over here. Like, what? What the fuck? Anyways, environment's getting a 1. For an overall of... Let's see. The overall is... We're going to go 2 plus 3 plus 7 plus 1. 13 divided by 4. And the overall is a 3.25. Is the overall, and you guys agree. 38% of you putting it in the 1 through 3 range. But again, 38% of you as well putting it in the 4 through 6 range. Interesting. If you guys put it in the 10 range, you guys are bozos. You guys are clowns. Get a grip. No. That's an easy no. You guys are wrong. L opinion. If I find out who put 10s in chat, you're getting timed out. So you better not let me find out. Anyways. 3.25. All right. Zemrold, you are getting a put in timeout. Trojan, you're getting put in timeout. I want you guys to go think about what you said. Once again, sit in the corner, head down. Sit in the corner, head down. Think about what you just said to me. And I need you to come back and learn your lesson. No. Corner, head down. I don't want to hear it. No. You're wrong. You know, like the definition of opinion is like your opinion. You can't be wrong on an opinion, but this time you can. This is an exception. You can be wrong on this opinion, and you are wrong on this opinion. Thought I'd let you know that. Anyways, let me put my Deddy up on round 5, which is why can't Redbud. Anyways, let me undeafen in Discord as well. Hello? You done
Hey. So I just went to testing because it loads like so much faster, and we weren't really riding together anyway. So
okay. Yeah, no,
thoughts?
that's fine. Yeah. I like that much better.
Yeah.
Let me do that then. All right. Now, this is a controversial one. People either love Redbud or they hate Redbud.
Right, I agree.
Where do you fall on that spectrum?
I was a hater, like a major hater, like super disappointed when it first dropped. And I think it's one of my favorite tracks now. I love this track. Now, it's a little bit overshadowed.
Do you think it's because you got better at the game?
Yes, this is where I spent all my time. Well, now that I am better, yes. And this is where I spent all my time to get better.
Got it. I think, again, if you guys are new to MX Bikes, I think the number one most important thing that you can do, not the number one, I take that back. I always say number one. But one of the most important things you can do, if you don't like a track and you struggle on it and it's hard, grind that track. That's the track that you need to grind. If you don't like a track,
facts.
That's the track you need to grind. Because you need to get good at that track. Like Thunder Valley, for me, would be one that I would need to grind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, feel that.
So, like, for example, when I was learning Supercross, hated Orlando. I think it was 2 or 1. Orlando 1. Hated it with a burning passion. Hated that track. However, I ended up grinding that track more than any other track I've ever played in the entire game. And now I love that track. One of my favorite tracks. And I got good at it, and it got me good at Supercross.
That's how I feel about here.
Yep. Yeah, so when it first came out, you didn't like it, but now you do?
Yeah.
When this truck first came out, I did like it, I will say. A lot. I liked it.
It's a bit overshadowed for me now by the Motocross Nations Redbuds. Like, I would much rather play either the quality version or the race version than this, but this is still... Out of the 4 we've played so far, this is my favorite, hands down.
Yeah, no, same. It's definitely by far my favorite so far. Yeah. The scaling, he went back to a little bit skinnier scale on this track.
Yeah.
And I like that. And so for me, that's a plus. I really enjoy the skinnier scaling. I don't know why. A lot of people don't. Most people don't, in fact. But I really, really enjoy the skinnier, smaller scaling. Yeah, the roughness is good. Like you can tell, he actually put thoughts into the roughness. In my opinion, he did. A lot of people think otherwise, but in my opinion, he put thoughts into the roughness. Like actually this time.
There is some goofy, like some of the. It is like, I don't know. Some of the roughness is a bit harsh. You know, like I think that he got a lot better at his roughness towards the later rounds where it like works with the physics a little bit more. This track, like it feels really. Like aggressive. When you hit a braking bump, it like really smacks you. You know
I almost like that more because, again, this might be kind of biased just because I like these types of tracks. I almost kind of like that just because it kind of makes you think about your lines more, makes you have to be more precise, more technical.
It's fair.
And you have to know how to hit bumps. And sure, like it's just, to me, like, the difference between this and Thunder Valley is massive. Like, so Thunder Valley, I like to use that example as roughness that doesn't work and roughness that isn't thought through. Whereas this is one that I like to use as an example that is thought through, that it does work. And a lot of people might disagree with me on that, but that's just, that's how I feel. What do you think about the roughness compared to Thunder Valley on this track?
I would take this 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, I would agree. I will say,
like,
Go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, if he remade Thunder Valley with this roughness, Thunder Valley might be like my favorite track. like because Thunder Valley's layout's sick.
And the scaling's pretty good on Thunder Valley, I would say.
Yeah.
What do you think about the scaling here?
I think the track's just a little too narrow, but everything else is fine. The leap's pretty gnarly, though.
I will say in real life, Redbud is a wide track in sections. So before the first big triple, not Larocco's, but the first big triple, that's part of the track is skinny. And then it gets to the S sections, like the S sections after the triple, that part is wide. And I think everything through there is actually pretty wide. And then like it gets to the Talladega turn, that part is skinny. Rollers is actually pretty skinny. And Larocco's is actually pretty skinny. But the S sections are very wide, to be honest. And anything after the finish line is pretty wide as well. So it varies the whole track, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I've been there in real life too, so that's why I'm saying that stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think before the finish, the roughness, especially the corner before the finish, the roughness is too much. Like that was unnecessary. Like it's never like that. The corner before the finish is always flat. Yeah.
That corner's gnarly.
Yeah. But other than that, I think the roughness is pretty good. Anything else you would like to add?
The environment barks. Like I feel like it.
Yeah.
It looks really good. I like the big flag. I don't know. I like the textures they use on the dirt. Yeah, this is. Yeah. This is like, other than the narrowness, this is kind of like the base for an aerial track that I would expect, like the level of quality as far as environment. Now,
and the story is like. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I do miss the crowd. Like that's something that, like the empty hills, if they were filled with a little bit more crowd, kind of the deal. I feel like that would be better.
Does he ever have any of that? I feel like you've never seen that. Maybe in Supercross. Well,
yeah, that's just a general complaint.
Yeah.
On the new Motocross and Nations track, there is.
I also wanted to. Oh, I had something. Oh yeah, the story, the how this track was so high quality and how it's such a leap from High Point to here, or even Thunder Valley to here, is because after High Point there was a huge amount of hate, obviously. And then it was like 2 weeks because I think IRL took a break or something like that. So it was like 2 weeks. And he spent 2 weeks just grinding this track out, and this is how it turned out. And I'm glad that it did because it raised the bar for the rest of the year. I think everything from this point on is so much higher quality than the first 3 rounds or the first 4 rounds.
100%.
Like from here on out, the quality is like this is the base, and it just goes up or stays equal with this for the rest of the year. I feel like.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's a great. This is where like the turning point started in the season for tracks.
This is right. Yeah, it's like where I feel like the season started, you know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
anyway.
I'm going to rate. Alrighty, boys. A little bit biased. I went 1-1 here. I love saying I went 1-1 here because it's Redbud. Come on now, boys. Let's go. Anyways. Yeah, this track is great. Again, a little bit too rough before the finish, but other than that, in terms of realism, this track is pretty good. I'd say in spots it's too skinny. Especially this corner, way too skinny. This corner, it's like, see all of this light stuff? This light stuff is how wide the track should be. Where the light stuff, where the dirt touches the grass, is how wide the track should be, in this part. And it comes down here, and it's wide. It's very wide here, very wide. So again, where the dirt is touching the grass is how wide the track should be. To be honest with you, through this part, and then through here it gets skinny. It gets like about this skinny through the track in this part, skinny. And again, wide through here. Super wide through here. Very, very wide. And wide through here and there and even here. And then it kind of gets skinny again. Skinny. Actually, this part is pretty wide. And before Larocco's Leap is wide. And it gets skinny for Larocco's Leap. And then this part is very wide as well. And this part's super wide. But he kind of just kept it skinny the whole time, which is okay, I guess. But that's the only complaint on the realism and the corner before the finish. Everything else, roughness, amazing. Ruts, amazing. Scaling, perfect. Like, the Rocco's Leap is perfect. This jump is perfect. Like on a the difference between a 250 and a 450 on this track is perfect. The roughness down this hill is perfect. It's great realism. So for round 5, for realism is getting a 8 for me. Maybe even a 9. Actually, it's probably going to get a 9. It's getting a 9. Up next, we have raceability, and this is the only part where it's going to go downhill. If you got a bad start on this track, Hemi can attest to this. Skills can attest to this. Anybody, Avmoof, anybody can attest to this. If you got a bad start on this track, and I didn't experience this, I had to get this feedback from other people and from doing public lobbies. But if you got a bad start on this track, you're not coming through the pack. Unfortunately, this track is too skinny, too one-lined. Raceability, kind of an L. So for raceability, I'm giving it a 4. It's not the worst, really not the worst, but raceability is pretty poor here, if I'm being honest, for a track that's known for having good raceability in real life. Up next, we have Fun Factor. And for me, this track is, I might give it a 10 for Fun Factor. I will come here and grind this track. I love this track. And this is, again, a personal opinion. I have a lot of fun on this track, especially Larocco's Leap on a 250 or even on a 125. You guys should go on a 125 and try hitting Larocco's Leap. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun here, especially when you're in testing by yourself. Fun Factor, out of this world. I might give it a 9 or 10. I'm going to give it a 10. And then environment. Again, the only complaint I would have is that it has no fans, like Doc said. Everything else, though, environment's perfect. It really does look like this in real life. It's perfect. This environment is absolutely perfect. And I'm going to give it a 9 for environment. Overall, going to be a pretty high score. The 4 is going to drag it down a little bit, to be honest. But let's see. 9 plus 4 plus 10 plus 9 equals 32 divided by 4 is an 8. Overall is an 8 overall, just like you guys said. And I forgot to ask you guys. Let me ask you guys really quick. I'm sorry. That's my bad. Let me ask you guys what you guys think about Redbud. Round 5. I need somebody in chat. Fixie or Hoffman or one of my mods should remind me to make a poll for chat every time. Redbud. 1 through 3. 4 through 6th. 7 to 9, and a 10. Let's see what you guys think. Going to boot up bikes again here in a second. All right, so we agree. I did give it, no, I gave it 2 9s. I did not give it 2 10s. I have my sheet right here, you bozo. Sheet is right there. 9, and 9. Only 1 10. You're a bozo. L bozo. Let me go here. Right. Bam. Look at that beautiful handwriting. Love it. But there's 2 9s, not 2 10s, you absolute L. Jeez Louise. My goodness. Anyways, let's boot up bikes and go to Southwick. Interesting track. This one's going to be controversial too, I feel like. I feel like this one is very love or hate as well. I'm going to undeafen. Doc, you good? You done rating?
Yeah, I'm loading into my arch nemesis.
I was going to say, right before I joined this call, I was like, I wonder what he's going to say about High Point. It's a very controversial track. Again, it's kind of like Red Bull. You either love it or hate it. I feel like no in between.
I can respect it. How will I say that? Like I see why people enjoy. Personally, I could just never find a flow on this track. Ever. No matter how much I played, I could just never find a flow.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to show you a line. Maybe I can show you on stream or something. That might help. Well, we're actually, you probably the whole track is where you're struggling. I was going to ask where you're struggling, but.
Well, also, okay, so I'm curious to see, I would like to put some time on this track because I haven't since in the last like few months, and I feel like I've gotten a lot better in the last few months. So I would be interested to like get back on this track and ride it.
Yeah.
But I think I just struggled finding a flow. Like I just could never really get comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'm back. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you guys had not already guessed, the next track is round 6, Southwick sand track. Built very different. The sand traction is slows you down, drags you down.
Awful.
What do you think about the sand tracking? Do you think it's unrealistic, or do you think it's good? What do you think about it?
I think it's
Might not be fun, but do you think it's realistic?
I don't know. I think in some ways it's really realistic. Like,
Well,
I obviously the forward momentum like reduction I feel like is pretty realistic, but sometimes, man, I just lose my rear end, and I rode a lot of sand tracks when I wasn't, mentally challenged, and I feel like I never lost my rear as much as I do in this game, but I don't know.
Yeah. At the same, yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
That's all. I just think like the side to side traction is a little slippery.
Well, I
The
think in
forward traction
general,
is fair.
This game's side to side traction is not right.
Yeah, fair.
And I think it's only it grows exponentially with the sand traction, because that's where you can really notice it. However, I think in general, I think the side to side traction in this game is not right, especially with 450s. I think if anything, 450s should be trying to loop you out, not sliding out. You know what I mean? And you should be able to, like,
Sure.
it's like it seems like you're always sliding out on a 450. Instead, it should be like more even, like 50-50. It should be looping out and sliding out, not always sliding out and never looping out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
'Cause
Should be like a lean angle
Yeah, it should be.
differential there.
Yeah.
That was a big word for Doc. I'm sorry. I'm not even sure I know what it means, you know?
It's just this track only grows skill gap because of how much the sand bogs you down. So let's say you go through a corner just a little bit faster than somebody else, just a little bit, just because, let's say you have a little bit more skill than the other person. That speed makes it makes a way bigger difference down the next straight. So that little bit of speed, you're going to be carrying way more speed down the next straight than the other guy, just because of how much the sand bogs you down.
So you know what must be really important on this track? Corner entries.
Facts. Yeah, just momentum is insanely important on this track. Like, never use your brakes if you can. Yeah, and then, if you slide out at all, like you were saying, you lose all of your momentum, and that sucks. And then you have to wait all the way to the next corner to get a chance to get the momentum back, because you're gonna be losing time down the straight.
Oh.
I do think it's really fun. Like the S section that I'm in right now, you like jump into all of these ruts. Like you jump into one, and then the next one you jump into, and the next one you jump into. That is super fun. I wish there was a little bit more line choice on this track, if I'm being honest. Like inside, outside.
That's fair.
I feel like he made the outsides rough. I feel like he should have made the insides rough and the outside smooth. That way you could have, used outsides.
This track raced really well. I remember casting this track, and the racing was like super close the whole time.
But do you think close racing is good racing, or do you think multiple lines is good racing? Like, what's your definition of good racing?
Lots of passing is good racing. Like if it's organic passing, so that would I guess that would equate to multiple lines.
So,
but
then I again ask you: do you think harder tracks are good for racing, or do you think they're bad for racing? Because that's where I get back to the ruts thing. Because because easier tracks make it easier for way more passes, because you don't need as much skill to go to ride that track fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just feel like I remember at least. I guess I casted EU 450 for this, and I just remember there being lots of position changes, and like it was lots of battles back and forth. And I don't know. I'm trying to remember if that was just because everyone was crashing, and then they would swap positions that way, or if it was just because there was lots of line choices. I don't know. I remember.
I feel like this
do
track
you think
is
this track
so
raced well?
easy. To be honest with you, it's like I don't see where you could fall on this track. If I'm being honest, I just don't see it.
I don't see where you can follow this track, but he's really honest.
Shut the fuck up. But
I'm sorry, two-time. You know, some of us are now. You know,
but it's like I think
Yeah.
that's why the racing was good, is just because
that's fair.
you just it's like I feel like the only time you crash on this track is if it's your own fault, not the track's. You know what I mean? It's like if you slide out or if you come into a corner too fast. It's like it's not like if you get Paboso'd. You know, it's like not like
That's
Thunder
true.
Valley. It's not like you're having to like tiptoe around the track with caution, like be careful here and there. It's like kind of for me, you can kind of just ride it naturally. I don't know.
I literally just cartwheeled over the bars as you're saying that.
Well, I crashed too when I was talking about not being able to crash on this track. But
Alright, good. You're like, yeah, it's easy. You just naturally, and I'm just doing a front flip over the bars.
I meant to say like, yeah, obviously you can crash on any track, but it's like I
Sure.
meant like it's not like
Yeah,
it's not gonna
I get what you're
Paboso
saying.
you. Yeah, I don't know. What did you think about this track when it first came out?
It was definitely I was disappointed. I wanted it to be good, and I don't know. I just didn't
not
gel
good
with
for
it.
you?
It was just over my head, skill level wise.
But if you were at a higher skill level, do you think this track would have been good? Or what makes it bad?
Yeah, I think so. I just suck at it. I just like it. Just it's just one of those tracks. I can never seem to find a flow. Although, like, jumping into those ruts is mad fun. I'm not like the S-turn section is sick.
I think this track is especially a lot more fun on a 450. For a 250, it kind of sucks. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's fair.
But 450, you can actually use that power and carry some momentum and not be going 2 miles per hour everywhere. I think it's a lot of fun on a 450. I don't know, Doc. I don't know.
To be honest, now that I'm like spinning a few laps on it now, I feel like I have much better flow than I did when I last played this track. So maybe it would be more fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I would.
Okay.
I also this was a track that like I couldn't figure out how to go fast on. Even when I felt like I had a good flow and I put a good lap in, I was just like way off the pace.
Again, I think that's just because it's exponential. So like, you look at quality times, and usually there's like like a 4-second gap between first and last, first and the cutoff in 250s, just like a 4-second gap. But if you look at it this week, it's like a 6-7 second gap, just because it's bigger because the sand is bogging you down so much, so you lose so much more time down the straights if you don't carry that speed in the corners.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it might not be you. It might just be the track that's like making your lap times look bad. That's what I'm trying to say.
Now, environment, I think they killed it on this track, and the overall realism of like how I think the scaling's really good here too, as far as like width. And like it feels like Southwick. I think they killed it.
I was just about to ask you, how do you feel about the roughness? How do you feel the bumps, sand rollers, sand whoops? How do you feel about the roughness?
I think this is probably one of the best tracks as far as like realism goes and scaling and environment. This is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah. But what do you feel about the sand ruts, sand berms? Do you think those are good as well?
Yeah, I think it having to keep your front end high.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely did not build
that.
like normal ruts that he usually does. I feel like a difference in the ruts, and obviously the bumps, like that's obvious.
Right.
But the ruts do feel really good. They do feel like flowy and like a berm almost.
They hold you. I think they hold you a lot better than some of the other ones. Like it's a sand berm would, where you can kind of slam into it a little bit harder than without blowing it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's some corners, there's some places where he could have used some improvement, but I mean, he only has a week for each track, and you can't be perfect. Which again, that's why I'm a little bit sad that he's not going to be making the tracks next year, because he already has all of these tracks, and so all you would have to do from year to year is improve them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's like now we're having to restart the cycle again with TFC. Whereas like I don't understand why Stone wouldn't want to make the tracks. Because he already has these tracks. All he'd have to do is probably remake High Point. Every other track, he can keep the same layout, the same template, and just improve on it almost, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
So that kind of sucks. Because now we're gonna have to give feedback to TFC. But like, whereas Stone Rider, he already knows what we want. He already knows the feedback. He already knows how to make what we want and how to make good racing and stuff like that. I'm kind of pissed off about that, if I'm being honest. I wish he would have made next year's tracks. Oh well.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm nervously. I guess I'm nervously waiting and am gonna be patient and give the benefit of the doubt, but nervously.
Yeah. Alrighty,
Anyway,
Doc.
I'm ready to rate.
Yep, me too. Let's get it.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, boys. Let's go here. Alrighty. Facecam Chris, thank you. Yeah, I've had it for like 2 months now, Sniped. Where have you been? Where have you been, Sniped? I've had it for like 2 months. Come on now. Maybe even more than that. Imagine your Wi-Fi shutting off at Southwick Bozo. Facts. Anyways, let's do round 6. So, Fixie, you didn't remind me with a poll, and I am disappointed in you. Anyways, I have to do it myself, I guess. Jeez Louise. L mod. 1, 2, 3, 4 through 6, 7 through 9, and 10. Alrighty, let's see what you guys think about that. I don't know, Hoffman. I have no idea. So, realism-wise, I think it's pretty realistic. I think it's very realistic, in fact. Yeah, I think it's a pretty realistic track. There's some spots where it can be improved, especially this corner. Could have made the outside smooth here and the inside a little bit rough. That would have been nice. This corner, I think you should have made the outside rough and built up, and the inside have a small berm and smooth. Here, there could have been more lines over here. Obviously, he should have built this outside berm up more and made it smoother instead of so rough. So a lot of the problems that I see is he makes the outside as rough as the inside, which you should never do. You should make the inside rougher usually and the outside smoother, unless the outside is the main line. If the outside is the main line, you make that rougher. So it's like he always has the same roughness for everything, which is kind of not what you want to do for realism and for just racing in general. But other than that, realism on point. This feels like sand, looks like sand, sand rollers, sand berms, sand ruts. It's good. It's realistic. I like it. I'm going to give it a 8. Just because it's hard to get sand right, but it's still a very high score. Raceability, again, this is going to be a good score as well. Yeah, raceability was actually pretty good. I'm going to give it probably a 8 as well, if I'm being honest. 9? Honestly, if I'm thinking about it, this is what has some of the best raceability all year. I'm going to give it a 9 for raceability. Actually, never mind. I'm going to give it an 8. 8 for raceability. Up next we have fun factor, and it's all right for fun. I mean, I come on here every now and then, especially it's fun on the 450. But it is actually pretty fun. I'm gonna give it a 7 for fun, maybe even a 6. I'm gonna give it a 6 for fun, and for the environment, I'm gonna have to give it a 9. I want to give it a 10. Actually, I'm going to give it a 10. I think this is the best environment of the year, if I'm being honest. I'm going to give it a 10. I'm going to give the environment a 10 out of 10. Let's see where this turns out. Maybe I should give it a 9. I'm going to give it a 9. Sorry, I'm so indecisive, boys. I'm giving the environment a 9. Alrighty. Let's see. So for Southwick, it averages out 8 plus 8 plus 6 plus 9, 31 divided by 4, 7.75. 7.75. Alrighty. Hey, a little bit late on that one, Fixie. You bozo. Jeez Louise. My goodness. All right, we are going to end that. And we are going to undeafen in Discord. Hopefully. Doc is done. Doc, you done? So Doc is not done. We'll
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you're good?
Yeah, I'm loading into it, baby.
Millville?
Oh, I'm loading in.
I'm assuming you have a love for this track. You like this track?
I love this track.
Tell me why you like this track.
Because well, this is the first time that I got onto an aerial track and I felt like I just immediately gelled with it. I just immediately felt fast on it. This was the one I missed quali by like 0.2 or something.
Oh yeah.
I was bummed, but I was ripping. My quali lap was like your race pace lap, like it was really fast. I just got kind of bodied. I don't know.
Why do you think you like this track so much?
So I like the roughness on this track. And maybe that's just because I'm not as good as you, because it's definitely not as hard as, oh my gosh. Now I will say the uphill, the little pobobo physics you get going up the hill are absolutely chalked. But I like the roughness, how it's not as gnarly. But it is still pretty rough. The downhill is disgusting, as I literally am cartwheeling down it as we speak.
The only roughness that I've seen on the track is just the downhill. I don't think there's a single bump on the entire track besides that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so what do you think about this track? Let me think about my thoughts a little bit more.
I think it was too easy, if I'm being honest. I feel like the skill gap here was, at the least, it's been all year, even less than High Point. I think this track is easier than High Point. I think this track is easier than Southwick. I think this is the easiest track on the schedule, and I think that's why so many people like it. I would
agree. Other than the hill and like how gnarly the uphill is, and strictly because you get pobobo physics, that's probably why. I think that's probably why as soon as I jumped on it, I felt like I was fast on it. It's because it's doesn't really. You think this track's easier? Oh, I guess you think Hangtown's hard, huh?
I do think this track is. I do think Hangtown's hard. Yeah.
Interesting. Somebody said Ryder sounds like he's trying to get all your bank security questions with all the questions he's asking.
Facts. Oh, Kyle, thank you for the 5 gifted,
what
baby.
What city were you born in? What's your mom's maiden name? Panda, what's Panda's mom's maiden name?
Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that, buddy.
That's what we all actually want to know.
Thank you so much. Hell yeah, some good guys got it too. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by the stream. Where you been, man? Where you been, Kyle? Been missing you, bro. Haven't seen you in the VCs. Haven't been seeing you in the streams. Where you been? Thank you, though, Kyle. Appreciate you. Means a lot, buddy. Thank you. Oh, are you going to play Modern Warfare tonight? That's the real question, Kyle. Are you gonna get it, download it, play it with us? I might get it. I don't have a mouse right now, but I might play it on controller. Anyways, sorry, Doc.
You're good.
What were you talking about?
Oh my gosh. I don't know, but my mute button is the same button as my trick button. So every time I unmute, I do a heel clicker.
Yeah, it used to be the same as my trick button as well, but I stopped. I mean, I unbound my trick button. Anyways, yeah. I think this track is too easy, in my opinion. I think
Hell
it
opinion.
is fun. I think the track is probably going to get the highest fun factor rating. Maybe not the highest, maybe one of the highest. It's very fun, and I think that's another reason why people like it. So I think a big, and I've noticed this a lot with when I ask people this. Oh, 1 second. Thank you, Kyle, for the 10.
I wonder if
I appreciate that, baby. Thank you so much, Kyle. That means a lot, man. Hell yeah. You look like a mole rat. I've been moving back to Iowa. And yes, I'm playing Modern Warfare. Let's go! You had everything set up already? Down to play? I'm excited. I'm very excited to play. Probably going to play it tonight. If you want to play tonight. Let's fucking go. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for the 10. Anyways, Doc, can you hear me?
yeah, I'm here.
As I was saying, I think a lot of people get how much fun the track is mixed up with how good of a track it is a lot of times. And so, like, remember when I made that list in your Discord, and everybody was flaming it for me? I think a lot of people get, like, they put the funnest tracks up top, not the best tracks. I feel like they're getting mixed up with the most fun tracks with the best tracks. And maybe I just have a different way of thinking in terms of what makes the best track, and maybe they value, maybe if they think of the track is fun, that makes it the best track. You know what I mean? Whereas I don't. I feel like it's if the track is good, or if the track race is good, or if the track is realistic, then it's a good track. And that's how I feel. But I think a lot of people feel like determine the track's quality by how much fun it is.
Yeah, they just weigh the fun factor more than you do.
Yeah.
Somebody said he definitely has a way of thinking, or a different way of thinking.
Anyways.
Guys.
Wait, what, sir?
No, I get what you're saying about the easy part. Like, again, I haven't ridden this track in a couple months, and it is really, you know, when I was talking about how I like the roughness, I hadn't actually completed a lap yet, and yeah, this track is dumb smooth.
Yeah, there is no rough besides the downhill.
Yeah,
there is, and I think a lot of people like that as well. I think the scaling's good, like the width is good. The ruts are good, I will say.
Yeah, the ruts are good.
The hills do. I was really afraid of him making this because I feel like he would get the hills wrong because he had been getting the hills wrong all season. But this time he nailed the hills. I feel like Mount Martin feels like very steep, big hills.
Agreed. Oh, I was like,
I think if the whole track, but even the roughness on the downhill of Mount Martin, I don't even think that is right because I feel like it's one-lined and you go to the far left side to avoid everything, or you send it and you jump over. But I feel like you should be able to hit the roughness, like how you do on other tracks where the roughness is kind of like consistent almost. You know what I mean? But you can't hit the roughness down Mount Martin without dying in most places. You have to hit in a certain place. You know what I mean?
that's fair. Like, you can't go through it. You have to find that one very specific line on the outside. Otherwise, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's
fair.
no way you're making the corner if you go anywhere besides the very far outside, in my opinion. Anyways.
The environment's kind of mid.
Yeah.
But, like,
I do think it's a step up from, like, the beginning of the year, like Fox Raceway 1. I think it's better than, and...
have you ever been to this track?
No, have you?
No, and that's what I was wondering, like, because, like, when I went to Bud's Creek environment's pretty mid, like, IRL, like, there's nothing there. So, like, maybe there's, like, nothing here, and that's why it's mid. Maybe it's just mid IRL.
Well, I feel like he did put a lot, like, I'm looking around now, I feel like there's a fair amount of detail into the environment. Again, I feel like the no crowd makes it look bland, but other than that, I feel like, I mean, it's pretty decent. It's not terrible.
Yeah, I think if he starts putting crowds, these tracks would feel so much more alive.
But how much of an effect would that have on a performance? You know what I mean?
I mean, I would think if they were just non-collidable objects, they wouldn't. Like, it would be pretty easy, you know?
And again, that's another thing that he could improve because he'd have more time to work on these tracks because he already made them for next year. That he could add these things in the environment. He wouldn't have to be stressing week to week. Like, it frustrates me. That's pissed me off.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. I'm good.
Yep, me too.
I'm a rate. Love you. Bye.
Bye, 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 bye. Anyways, boys, let's get into the rating. So you guys are giving it a 7 through 9. Interesting, interesting. Very, very interesting. You guys are very interesting. You guys are clowns. You guys are bozos, in fact. You guys, in fact, I don't even want to talk to you guys anymore. In fact, I'm ending the stream now. I will see you guys next week. Goodbye. No, but, anyways, let's get into the realism part. Especially through this section. This section looks gnarly in real life, and I feel like look how flat this looks. It's just not very rough. Especially coming into this corner, it's super gnarly in real life. Just the realism part isn't really there for me. I feel like the sand section is longer too in real life. Maybe not. Like, I feel like it goes down to like here, the end of this. You know what I mean? Where the dirt meets the grass. I feel like it goes to there. Like, especially look how short this side is. There's like a couple rollers and that's it. Anyways, the hills feel good. The scaling feels really good. It's just the roughness for me and the kind of the lack of ruts in general. It's all right. This is just a pretty mid track in my opinion, except for the fun. It's very, very fun. I will say it's a very, very fun track, but everything else about it is pretty mid. So number 7. Our racing tonight. What is tonight? Realism. I'm going with a 7. 6. Going with a 6 for realism. Just it honestly needs to be rougher. Seattle? No. Raceability. Raceability was very good here, I will say. I think. No, it was mid. I remember. It was pretty mid. I'm going to go 6 again for raceability. Fun, I'm giving like a 9. Environment, again, pretty mid. I'm giving it a 7 for environment. Seattle, I signed up? Huh? That is weird. I don't remember signing up for that. Yeah, environment's like a 7. Maybe even an 8, if I'm being generous. But let me calculate the average here. So 6 plus 6 plus 9 plus 7 is 28 minus divided by 4 is a 7 overall. So overall is a 7. Environment 10. Actually, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna bump it up a little bit. I'm gonna give it an 8 instead of a 7. So I'm going. I feel like you're right, to be honest. Now that I think about it, I'm going 6 plus 9 plus 8 instead of 7 is 29 divided by 4 is 7.25. Okay, so that is the score for Millville. And you guys agree? Most of you guys are putting 7 through 9 category. A lot of you guys are putting 10. Interesting. So obviously you guys think very highly of this track. Yeah. Let's go on to the next one though. Which up next we have. What do we have up next? Oh, Washougal. Another controversial one, I feel like. So let's get into that. Let me undeafen here. Dakiwaki.
Hi, bruv.
You done?
Yep. I'm backing out right now.
Next up, we have a interesting one.
The Shug.
Yep, we have round 8, Washougal, and I feel like this is a very different style to the tracks he's been making all year, if I'm being honest. I feel like it's kind of weird, this track. Not saying it was bad, weird, but it was just, weird? It was different.
Gotta unmute Panda, my bad.
Because I only got this life and I got no time.
On God.
To get it right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh. What do you think about Washougal, Panda, from a non-biased perspective?
it's a W track.
What do you like about it?
I
Don't
know,
say it's your home track. Don't you dare say that.
Hey, it's not anymore.
Okay, well, you can't like it because of that. So why do you like it?
That's pretty cool. It's nice dirt.
Okay.
Some,
It's the
has
same
some
dirt as
cool
all the
things
other
to
rounds.
it.
Listen, Washougal would be much higher on the list if it wasn't for that first sector.
First sector's kind of trash, yeah.
If the first sector was better, this track would be really, really good.
How much time do you have, Doc? Until
Stop.
over.
I'm streaming until midnight on this wonderful game of two wheels and motors.
How much?
So
well,
that
what
is that's 3.5 more hours.
Jeez Louise.
I'm a grinder, okay?
I'll do it with you if
You
you
don't. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm down.
that way we're in it together. We're in the torture fest together of being
I'm down.
on this.
I have a question,
Interesting,
Ryder.
What's up, Panda?
How many times a week do you rub your nipples with peanut butter?
That's a question. I didn't think I'd hear it today. I did not go in today thinking, man, I think I'm gonna hear
Hey,
that
yo.
question.
Yeah, hey, Panda. Hey, what's up? Stream.
What?
Streams live. It's cool. Cool talkie walkie, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot you're a PG-13 guy.
No, just something like that.
It's just
fine.
peanut butter. It's peanut butter.
Yeah, it's just peanut butter, dog.
I like
Jeez.
eating
That's fair-
peanut
fair
butter
enough.
with a spoon most of the time, but
Fair enough.
That's
it's
what I'm
just
saying.
peanut butter.
But every now and
About
then, you
that.
gotta spread it on the nipples and eat it. I mean, it's just part of the experience.
I mean, I have never done that. It was just a question towards you because you
Oh, okay.
made
Oh, okay. Got it.
Huh?
All right, Doc. When you first got the track, what did you think?
I liked it other than Sector 1.
Okay. How did you feel about the different style? Because I do feel like this is different. You know what it is? I think it's the roughness. I feel like the bumps are better almost because Washu was not known for having like gnarly bumps. You know what I mean?
It's ruddy, not rough.
Yeah, and I feel like the way he did make the bumps and where he did make the bumps, it almost does work. To me,
Yeah.
it's not like it's not smooth like Millville, but it is smooth as in the bumps aren't gnarly, but there is roughness and there is bumps. It's just not like completely flat. You know what I mean?
I think I had a really hard time with that whoop section before the finish. That one challenged me a lot. I do like the roughness. I think it's a good amount of roughness for this track.
So, yeah, you can definitely feel the roughness in the first sector. Oh, as I go over the berm. I think that's why a lot of people don't like the first sector. I think it's because the roughness is so much different to the rest of the track. I feel like almost like there's a lot of roughness in the first sector compared to the rest of the track. I'm starting to notice, and the first sector feels kind of tight as well.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. It's really tight. Like you can clip your bars on stuff really easy. But once you get to that left-hander or like the 2 corners before Horsepower Hill, the track really opens up and it barks. Plus that line at the top of Horsepower Hill where you can kind of like jump over that little roller is hot.
Yeah, but the corner before Horsepower Hill too, that you can just hold it wide around the outside. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Oy. Yeah. What do you think of this track, Doc? Now, as to back then.
I like it. I think it's good. I think like it feels like Washougal to me. Although this is very nitpicky. I think he could have used a dirt texture with like a little bit, like the smallest amount of red in it, because Washougal does have like a little bit more of a red clay vibe than like this black dirt. But that I mean, come on, that's just a little bit nitpicky there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's good. How did this track race?
It it raced all right, and I feel like that's to be said with almost every single one of Stone Rider's tracks.
Yeah, that's fair.
It raced all right. It was mid. I don't know. It was like, it was again where you're just kind of like sitting behind somebody until they make a mistake almost.
Yeah.
I remember Greg, he sat behind me the whole moto after I got around him, and I just never made a mistake, and I won the race, and he finished like 0.2 behind me.
Oh, that's right. This is the one with you, Greg, and Finn, right? Isn't this where you guys battled
Me,
like the
Greg,
whole time?
and Garcia.
Oh, Garcia, yeah.
Yeah, we battled both motos the whole race. Pretty fun. But yeah, there wasn't much passing going on except for when somebody would go down. I'll tell you, Greg did pass me one time, but that was the only straight up pass I've had to me or that I've made the entire weekend, including EU, including NA. Like, that was the only like straight up pass of the entire time, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Whereas
It does
another
seem
tracks,
like it.
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it does seem like it could be a little one-lined, right? Like,
Yeah, but do you think Washu was one line in real life? I mean, that's going to take away from the raceability, but it might add to the realism. You know what I mean?
yeah, I guess so. I guess it is sometimes. I mean, I feel. Yeah, I guess I can't really think of any like crazy races I've ever seen, like crazy close battles or anything I've seen at Washougal.
Well, think about it this year. Sexton versus Tomac. Both motos, they're just right behind each other the whole time. They did not pass each other one time the entire race.
Yeah.
Both motos. They were within like 0.5 of each other the entire race, and they didn't pass each other once. That's pretty sad, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think does that have to do back to your point earlier of like super ruddy track? You just can't move around. You're just kind of locked in.
That, and I think the track is one-lined. So, yeah, I think the ruddy track and the one-line. So, imagine, like before the whoops, for example. Imagine there was no ruts before the whoops. How many block passes you would see before the whoops. Like, they tried it. They would try it before the whoops, like doing these block passes, but it wouldn't work because you were because of the ruts, usually. But you could see the cogs turning of them wanting to do block passes before the whoops all the time, but they never really able to do it. Now take away those ruts before the whoops. There's block passes there the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm good.
Alrighty. All right. Alrighty. So, Washougal. I feel like the first sector, like we were saying, is too square. It's too sharp. Nothing's really rounded. I think that's what makes it feel tight and awkward. The rest of the track, though, is really good. I really do like Washougal. Let's go realism first. So, for realism, let me see what you guys are saying. You guys are rating 4 through 6? Really interesting. You guys are so interesting. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Realism. Let's see. I do think this track is pretty realistic, if I'm being honest. Maybe not through here. I'm gonna give it like a solid number for realism. It could be better, could be worse. It is pretty realistic though. The scaling's pretty good. It's pretty good, man. It honestly is pretty good. I'm gonna give it a solid 8 for realism. Racing wise, pretty mid. And there's nothing much to say about it. It's just like all the other tracks so far. It's just kind of one line, follow the leader until the guy makes a mistake in front of you, and then you get around him. So again, I'm gonna give it like a 6, pretty mid. Fun factor. I have fun on this track, if I'm being honest. It's a lot of fun. I come on this track every now and then and I play. It is a lot of fun. This track is pretty good. I am once again gonna give it probably an 8. Probably an 8 for fun factor. Really fun track. Really good. I enjoy it. It flows nice. Yeah, it flows nice. It's fun. It's flowy. The bumps are good. You're wide open around this corner, which is super fun. You can just kind of get into flow, get into rhythm, and find yourself doing lots of laps here. And last but not least, we have the environment, and the environment, I think, is one of the better ones of the year. It's up there with Southwick, in my opinion. I'm going to give it, I think, a 9. The trees are well done. Now, I have shadows turned off, so that's why there's no shadows, but this part is all shadowy. It's hard to see. I actually turned shadows off because of this race because it was so hard to see in the shadows. Yeah, not much else to say besides that. Environment's great. I think it's really, really good, if I'm being honest. I think it's almost perfect, once again. I'm going to give it a 9 for environment. And, yeah, let's see where this total comes out to be. So we're going to go 8 plus 6 plus 8 plus 9 equals 31 divided by 4 is once again tied with Southwick for a overall score of 7.75. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Up next. Ooh, we got a banger up next, boys. We got a banger up next. Hopefully Doc is done rating. I'm gonna wait maybe another minute. What's in first right now? Let's see. In first as of right now is Redbud. Is in first as of right now. Round 5. Redbud has the highest score with 8. Followed closely behind with Southwick, Millville, and Washougal. However, I think this next one is probably going to beat it. It's probably going to beat it, boys. We have, in my opinion, the best track of the year. The best track of the year. Up next, boys, we have the one, the only, Round 9, Unadilla. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Unadilla is an absolute barker. Probably my favorite track of the year. No, actually, I will go ahead and say it. It is my favorite track of the year. Love Unadilla. It's a great track. Great track. Doc?
Yes.
Are you surprised by any of your ratings so far? Like, are you surprised of anything like in first that you didn't think would be, or like down lower?
Yes.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, yes. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think when I see it, where like there's one specific track I'm thinking of, and I'm surprised how high it is, but also I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But up next, though. Yes, sir. Up next, we have, in my opinion, the best track of the year, Unadilla. So excited for it. I love this freaking track. It's so good.
Yeah, this track
so
barks.
good.
Yeah, I think the majority of people that play this, like played these tracks, would say this is one of their favorite tracks, or their favorite track.
So good.
It is pretty good. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's my favorite track though. I
Really?
know, like, yeah, I don't think it's my favorite. It's probably, it's definitely in my top 3.
Okay.
But I don't know that it's my favorite, and it might not be my second favorite.
Wow. Interesting. Let me get a poll going in my chat real quick. See what they think about it. Poll. Did you like it when it first came out?
Like, yes. I don't think this was like, I feel like this one's kind of similar to Southwick, where I just like I know, like I can recognize that the track is really good. I don't think I ever really performed well here. And so I guess I tie a lot of how I do to whether the track is like, if I like the track or not. But I obviously, like, I think the track is really good. I just never really did well here.
Do you did you ever do many public races here?
Yeah, a few.
Did you like racing here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it raced well. I just never really performed here, you know?
Yeah. I think the scaling on this track is perfect. I think the roughness is
Agreed.
perfect. There's one spot where like a lot of people hated the roughness. It's out of a tight corner after the tabletop. You know what I'm talking about? First sector.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people hated that roughness, but I think if it wasn't for that, I think the roughness is perfect. I actually like that roughness. A lot of people don't, obviously.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how I didn't die.
Yeah, this track is great, man. Sky Shot feels good. The corner before Sky Shot feels really good. The Screw You feels good. Oh, sorry, family friendly.
No, that's the AMA. The AMA is the one that doesn't let you say that anymore.
Yeah. There's multiple
Just
lines on
ridiculous.
this track. It's good. There's lots of places for passing, even in the places where it is one line, because the straights are so long that like if you carry momentum out of the corner before you can beat them to the next corner, even if the corner is one lined. Man, it is really good. The environment I think is really good as well. I mean, it's like looking around like on the ground. It's a little bit bland, you know what I mean? But I think Unadilla is just like that because it's the rolling green hills.
I think that's the only thing that could have made this better is if it was more green. Like it's pretty brown. You know, like if there was somehow like if they just had it more grassy, that it would bark.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's like it kind of looks like a Cali hill, you know, and that's just. Oh.
I'm thinking about it, and there's almost multiple lines in almost every corner, which is really cool.
Agreed.
And the width of the track is great. It gives you lots of room to play around with and move around. The ruts are built really good, especially at the top of the hill. You know what I'm talking about? Before Sky Shot, the top of that hill, those ruts are great. Even in Sky Shot, the ruts are great. Actually, most of the ruts on this track are great. Maybe before the finish line, the two corners before the finish line, the ruts aren't the best. But I think everything other than that, the ruts are great.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
I like this lot. Oh.
How close were you to qualifying here, or did you not try to qualify here?
I didn't try here.
Got it.
Oh my gosh. Why did that sound like that? Alright, I'm ready to rate this one. This one's gonna be easy.
Alright, I'm ready to rate it too. Alrighty, boys. Pull up OBS here. Pull up this. Alright. So, what is my sit down button? It is R3. My right stick. Push it down like this. I'm pushing it right now. R3. Let's see. So, let's go round 9. My favorite track of the year, by far, Realism, is the first score that we're doing. I'd say this track is pretty dang realistic. I think the one thing that wasn't realistic was this corner here. So you would come down this here, and it would be straighter, right? It'd be straighter, and then you'd have a 90 and back up the hill. Other than that, the track is basically perfect in terms of realism. Like the roughness, look at the roughness is so good down this hill. Like this feels like Screw You. The lines are good. Oh man, this track is really, really good. This is perfect. Yeah, no, this track is basically perfect in terms of realism besides this one corner. Again, people didn't really like this roughness here, but I thought it worked. I thought it was fine. I thought it created a little bit of a skill gap. Yeah, it was great. I'm going to give the realism a 9. It would have been a 10, to be honest, if it wasn't for that one corner. Let's see. Ask the doc if he kisses the homies goodnight. I will. I will. Oh, you guys are giving it 10. I'm excited. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys are giving it 10. Let's see. For raceability, up next. In my opinion, it's the best of the year. By far the best. Like, I made so many passes here. So many passes, straight up passes. I made passes here up this hill. I made passes in this corner, lots in this corner. Every single corner basically have 2 lines. Let's see. Let's start at the finish line and see how many of the corners had 2 lines. You hit this finish, 2 usable lines here. When I say 2 lines, there could be 2 lines in a corner, but only one of them is usable. But what I mean when I say 2 lines is both of them you can use. 2 usable lines here. The middle and the inside are basically even. I'd say 1 line here would be this far inside. 1 line here, far inside. 2 lines here, outside, inside. Far outside, far inside. Let's see. 1 line here, far inside. And again, 2 lines here in this roller in this sweeper before the sky shop. And there's also 2 lines here. You could take this or that, or even the far inside. It's basically 3 lines. And I messed this up. 1 second. Sorry. And then you have after the sky shot, and you have 2 lines again after the sky shot. Where am I? 2 lines after the sky shot again. You have this far inside roller that you could hit, and you could single, or you can go middle line. You could try to double. Come up the hill here. 1 line in this corner, far inside. 2 lines in this corner, inside and middle. 1 line in that corner. 2 lines in this corner. You have inside and outside. And then like 3 lines in this corner. You have middle, outside, and far inside. And so, yeah, the whole track basically, like over 50% of the corners have more than 1 line, and there's lots of racing ability. And even the corners that do have 1 line, for example, this one, you come out of this corner, you get a good drive. Let's say the guy in front of you takes inside, you go middle, and then you're set up on the inside for the next corner, you get a good drive, and you can pass them into this corner even though it's 1-lined. Same with this corner up here. Same with that corner. Yeah, a lot of the corners you can just beat them there, if I'm being honest. So for raceability, I'm going to give it a 9 as well. Up next, we have fun factor. And I have a lot of fun on this track. Very, very good track. I have a lot of fun on this track. I find myself going on this track a lot. I like doing public lobby races here. In fact, I've played this track so much that I'm almost even burnt out of it. That's how much I've played this track because it is so fun. I'm going to go ahead and give that a 9 as well for the fun factor. And last but not least, we have the environment, and it is all right. I mean, actually, I think it's pretty good for what it is. Again, like Doc said, it could be a little bit more green, but hey. Everything else, though, is pretty good, and I'm going to give it a 7 on the environment. Let's see what this score comes out to. So we have 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 7 equals 34 divided by 4. 8.5, taking the highest score so far. In fact, you know what? I might even bump the 7 on the environment to an 8, and I think I'm going to do that. So let me do that again. 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 8, 35 divided by 4, 8.75 is the new high score and taking the lead of the rating system. All right, up next we have round 10, Budds Creek. All right, I'm going to undeafen. Doki, you there?
Oh, hey, bruv.
Oh, you already on Budds Creek?
Yeah. I've already spun a lap, baby.
Okay. How do you feel?
I don't know how I feel about this track. This one's interesting for me. I feel like I don't really like it, but I don't know why.
I think it's probably the scaling. I think it's probably a little bit unrealistic, I would assume.
Too small?
Especially because you went there in real life. I don't know about too small. I think it's just, I think the hills are not
Off?
right. Yeah, I think it's off, yeah.
Yeah. You know the little like U-turn where they drop down? It's like the famous Budds Creek. They drop down that little hill and immediately make the right-hander back up the hill.
Yep.
That is so steep IRL, and it is, I mean, but I guess at the same time, if they made it as steep as it was in real life, I don't know that bikes could function.
Yeah. Plus, it's also hard to tell on TV, and I'm assuming Stone hasn't been to all 12. But still, that does, that doesn't matter. It is unrealistic, but still.
Yeah.
I also think the big triple is a little bit off. Especially on a 250.
Too big or too small?
It doesn't launch you high enough. It launches you far forward, and you can't get over the landing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially on a 450, you can. But it's like, again, the scaling's like fine. It's just off, like I was saying. It's
yeah,
it's just off. I think. What do you think about the scaling? Because we went there IRL. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think like, I'm coming around. You know you go after the finish line, you go over the tunnel jump there, or like the little, it's like a pipe jump, like the single roller, and then you make that right-hander in front of the pond and go up the hill.
Yep.
On TV, I think this scaling looks like it does on TV. I was very much surprised how steep that hill was. And the hill, like the step down triple hill, where you kind of come to like the far side of the track, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Those hills are really steep and like a lot bigger than they are in the game in this. Like just longer, I mean, like and steeper, like longer and steeper.
Interesting.
But like to your point, I don't know, like if I hadn't seen that in real life, I don't know that I would have ever caught that. Like it probably seems fine based off TV, but that was the thing I think I noticed most about this track when I went in real life was like, dang, these hills are way steeper than they look, and this triple is disgusting. Whatever, I don't know what they call this triple, but
I think the turning rollers before the finish, I feel like those are higher up in real life. There's more of a drop down before the finish, you know what I mean? And there's the step up before the turning rollers is a bigger step up, like taller.
Yes.
I think it's just a higher plateau before the finish as well.
Henry Hill's a lot steeper as well. Like you go up, and then you just fall. It's like an elevator shaft.
Interesting.
You're interesting.
Yeah, and then I feel like the triple step down, like you were saying earlier, is a little bit off as well. That just does not feel right at all. Yeah, no, that's not right. Yeah.
It's way more like you have way more speed coming out of the corner, and you like float way down that hill.
Yeah, no, and also the triple step down the hill is so small compared to IRL. I feel like.
Yeah.
It looks really small. Like I'm looking back at it right now, and that is tiny. Sorry, Doc. PTSD. Oh.
I like the roughness.
Yeah, roughness is good. Ruts are good
roughness
too.
Feels good. Yeah, ruts are good. I guess that is it. I guess the scaling just is a little funky for me.
And I think you're not alone in that either. I think you went to an IRL and you can really see a difference. But I think even the people who are watching on TV can even like see a difference. Like it's not right.
And then some of these jumps are like the first triple up the hill, not the huge one, but the like before you make that U-turn jump, the first triple going up that hill, like that's quite the stretch on a 250 in the game. And I feel like that was a triple that they were hitting pretty easy on a 250.
Yeah. Even the big one, I feel like, was like, even that one's too hard as well, I feel like.
Yeah, the top guys for sure were doing that every lap. But once you got back to like 13th and back, those guys were struggling.
But I feel like, again, I feel like the difficulty is good, but it's more like how it's difficult. Like it just shoots you too far forward. It doesn't shoot you up,
Right.
so you can't get over it on a 250 because you don't have enough power. It's not about the speed; it's about the power almost. So it's like 450 has such a big advantage because it has the power. But you could be carrying the same speed as a 450 on the 250 up that hill, but you wouldn't get over it the same as the 450 would because of the power, I feel like.
Okay, so I just went through the rollers again too, and yeah, they're
definitely off.
These are weird, yeah. They're way like deeper in between, and they are a lot higher. Yeah, very strange.
And they don't even feel like rollers in game. They're just weird in game. Just weird.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really sharp. Kind of like me. Sorry.
No worries, Doc.
Okay. Okay, this is totally off topic, but my favorite thing in a video I put out, my Eero video I put out, is you. And I said something, I like screamed, and you're just like, on God, Doc, on God. And every time I watch it, every time I edited that video, I was laughing. Anyway, shut up. Time to mute.
Alrighty. Bye.
All right, love you, bye.
Alrighty, boys. So you guys say about round 10, Budds Creek. 7 through 9 range. Okay, interesting. All right, Budds a lot, and the finish line, big, triple, and step up before the finish are all bigger when you hit them, and the hills are scaled trash, not gonna lie. Yeah, I agree. Dumb question, doesn't matter if I'm on Windows 11 for MX Bikes. No idea. I'm on Windows 10, so don't know. Let's go to replay mode here, and we can take a gander at Budds Creek. Anyways, okay. So let's do some ratings here. Let us see. For round 10, Budds Creek. Realism, not it. I'm going to have to go ahead and give it like a 6 for realism, if I'm being honest. Like I said, the scaling's off. It's just the scaling. The ruts and roughness is nice. The scaling is just so off. Like, it's just, you can just tell even from here, it's just so off. Like, this is not, like, this is not, no. And this, no. And this here, no, this is bigger off camber. No, this is a bigger off camber and a steeper hill there. No, these rollers here are higher up. No. So realism, I'm gonna give like a 5, to be honest. Up next, we have raceability. Again, I feel like it wasn't the best. I feel like it was not the best raceability, if I'm being honest. Trying to think. Yeah, no, not the best. Not the best raceability, if I'm being honest. Not very many places to pass. No multiple lines. All pretty one-lined. Actually, very one-lined. Can't really think of any passing spots right off the bat. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to give it a 5 for raceability. Maybe a 6. I'm going to give it a 6 for raceability. Up next, we have fun factor. And I have a lot of fun on this track, if I'm being honest. I like spinning laps on this track, even though it's not very realistic and doesn't have the best racing. It's a very fun track. Very, very fun track. I enjoy it. I enjoy spinning laps on it. So I'm going to give it like a 9 for fun factor. And environment, I think is pretty good. He even has the flat track over there, even though it's not detailed. I think the environment's pretty good. I like the pond in the middle. That's so cool. Environment's pretty good, in my opinion. I'm going to have to give it like an 8 for environment. Let's see what this overall comes out to be. 5 plus 6 plus 9 plus 8 equals, 5 plus 6 plus 9 plus 8 divided by 4, 7. I'm going to do that one more time. That just doesn't seem right. 5 plus 6 plus 9 plus... Oh, that is right, isn't it? Divided by 4 is 7. Yeah. Overall is a 7 overall. Okay. 2 more tracks to go, boys. Let's get it. 2 more tracks. You should see Buds before the Nationals. It is so bad. There's so much work they do to make the whole facility presentable for TV. Really? Interesting. Is Buds Creek usually not a good facility? Or what?
You're all.
Yo.
Ooh. What'd you? Okay. Are you loaded in yet?
I'm loading it now.
What did you think about this track?
I've only played it on a 450, so I'm going to try it on a 250 for one of the... I played it on a 250 for a bit, so... but on the 450, it was a lot of fun. Again, I think the fun factor was very high on this track. I just don't think the realism was that good. I think the raceability was also good. But, yeah, the realism part, I think, is where it's lacking. But the fun was high. The track was very fun. Not going to lie. What about you?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think this track is really fun, and I don't think it's realistic at all.
Yep, I agree. It's not realistic at all, but it is extremely fun.
Yeah. Freaking Godzilla's like a little baby lizard.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the well, I guess let me know when you're in, and then when you get a couple laps or going. How do you feel about the the braking bumps and stuff, like the just roughness, not necessarily the ruts?
So what's weird is I feel like this is one of the roughest tracks of the year. And everybody the whole time was saying, "Oh, the tracks are so much better. It's not as rough. It's so smooth now." And I don't really understand where that is coming from, if I'm being honest. Look at that. Look at that section I just went to. Look how rough that is. I went through the section right before the finish. That is pretty dang rough. Like all of this.
Hey,
look how rough this is. But I just don't understand why.
I don't know.
This track is rougher than most of the tracks that we've had so far. Like it's rougher than Washougal. It's on par with Redbud. I feel like it's rougher than High Point. It's rougher than Fox One. It's rougher than everything. Rougher than Buds. Rougher than Dilla. Look at that! Look at that through there. Jeez. But everybody says it's smooth, and I don't understand why. And that's where I get confused.
I'm not. I don't know. I don't think it's that rough. I think I'm gonna go with the majority here. And
but like after Godzilla, the corner or the step down after Godzilla is very rough. The corner, like every corner I'm going into is pretty rough. Wait, hold on. Yeah, out of this corner is rough. What? I don't understand why people don't think this is rough. This corner's not that rough. This corner's not that rough.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. I think that there's a lot more braking bumps, but the size of the braking bumps is smaller than the previous tracks. Does that make sense? So like maybe like the amount of braking bumps, the amount of chop is increased from other tracks, but the size of them, other than going like after Godzilla, going back down the hill and before the finish, that's pretty large through there.
I would say that it's the same size as all the other tracks. I think what it is smarter placement of roughness. I think it's thought through and better, and I think it works better with the physics, and I think it's thought through and it's just better roughness in general. The shape's better. That he thought it through, and he wasn't just placing like you said the random rough tool
Yeah,
like that. It
the
seems like
scroll wheel.
Yeah, and it's like after that wall. Look, see how? Did you guys see how rough that is after this wall that I just hit? So the wall after the finish line, that roughness coming into the start straight is pretty rough. That's pretty rough, man. And I just think it's smarter roughness. I think it's better roughness and better shaped. I think it's a very, very good track. It's very fun.
It's fun, but the scaling's off a bit still.
Yes. I think the realism is the lacking part, but the environment is actually pretty good, I feel like. I feel like the fun is very high. Maybe even a 10, if I'm being honest. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Wait, what did you say was a 10?
I feel like the fun is almost a 10 for me. It's very, very fun.
Yeah.
The raceability is very good. Better than most. Not as good as Unadilla, in my opinion, but better than most. But it's just the realism is just not the best. I feel like the scaling is definitely off. Like that tabletop I just hit, like, you know, the big tabletop after the step down after Godzilla, like that one is that's scaling. Like it's a much bigger tabletop than that. I feel like.
How did this track race?
I'm trying to think.
This was your 450 debut. You were down in the first corner like every time.
It did race pretty good. It was wide. It's nice and wide. Raced pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did race pretty good, actually. Now that I think about it, it raced pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty fun. How do you think it raced? Public lobbies and such?
I think I don't know that I've actually raced this track very much, but watching you, I think I casted all 4 motos that week, and I think there was pretty good racing. Or all 8 motos, actually, but yeah, I think it raced pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, need more time? Are you ready to rate?
I'm good.
All right, let's do it. Whoosh. All right. So, boys, let's get an overview of round 11 here. Iron Man. Did I create a poll? I don't know. I will check in a second. Hopefully I did. Alrighty. So here's Iron Man. Again, you can just tell the hills aren't right. You can just kind of tell scaling's a little bit off. It's just not right. Even from up here, you can tell. Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. Like even this, look how long of a straight this is. This is not correct. This look at the start. This is not the correct start at all. Anyways, that's besides the point. So realism, I'm going to have to give it not that high. Everything else will be pretty high, to be honest. The roughness and the ruts were great. Actually, that almost makes up for it. That almost averages it out to like a 7. So I'm going to give it like a 7. Just because of the roughness and the ruts. If it wasn't for the roughness and the ruts, this realism score would have been pretty low, like a 4 almost even. Because the Godzilla is so tiny. The step down after Godzilla is tiny. This tabletop, look how tiny that is. That's not the real life tabletop. This whole section feels off, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it just feels a little bit off. It doesn't really feel like Iron Man, if I'm being honest. Scaling's off, definitely. And then up next we have raceability. I think the raceability was pretty good. I'm going to give it a higher score probably. Raceability is pretty good. Lots of passes could be made through here. I remember making lots of passes on this one, on this corner. You can pass coming into this corner here. You'd have to beat him to this corner. You would have to, again, you could pass here. You'd have to beat him to that corner. Lots of passes through here. So this was a nice long section that you could like make up time through scrubbing and then through here and here. Most of the passes, the majority of the passes throughout the day, I feel like were made through this long straight and then these 2 corners here. Maybe even the finish line a little bit. So this whole third sector was the passing place. And what we can learn from that is long straights with tight corners equals good passing. It always has, always will. So for raceability, I'm going to give it like I'm going to give it an 8, maybe a 7. I'm going to give it an 8. Up next, we have fun factor, and it's very, very fun. I'm going to give it a 9, I think. Maybe even a 10. I'm going to give it a 10. This is, I think, the most fun track of the year. I'm going to give it a 10. And then for environment, it is a little bit bland, sure. But I think it's a pretty good environment, not going to lie. Actually, no, it's not bland. Look at this down here. This is actually a really good environment. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a 8, maybe a 7. No, 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. Let's see where Iron Man comes out to be. I'm gonna go one step down on the realism as well to 6. Well, no, we'll see. I'll leave it at 7. I'll leave it in at 7. Okay, 7 plus 8 plus 10 plus 8, 33 divided by 4, is a 8.25 overall. Alrighty. So that is the second highest one so far. So Iron Man has officially taken second place in the list. And yeah. Hi, Linz. I have a question for me online. Is not working. I tried everything. Also, the wheel fix. I did all the bikes except for the OEM packs. I'm about just watching. I'm sorry. But does someone know what I can do? Yeah, download the OEM tires. Yeah, do what Hemi said. Yeah. Yeah, Hemi's being helpful. Yeah. Alrighty. And you guys seem to agree. It is in that 8 range. You guys, 58% of you guys put it in the 7 to 9 range. And I would have to agree as well. Now we have the last track of the day. Another banger track. The tracks just get better as the year goes on, as to be expected. But yeah, last track is a banger. Ducky Wucky. Oh, Ducky Wucky.
Hey.
Hi.
All right, so I might get a little this might be a little controversial for here, but we are now entering Doc's favorite track.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd say hands down, but this is definitely my favorite track.
Okay. Is there a reason why? Give us some explanation.
I think the environment is really good here.
I would agree. It's not that hard to nail the environment, though, on this track, I feel like.
Fair. Well, okay, so one thing I was just talking about on Iron Man is the environment's good until you look at the skybox. And he's just got that regular, green skybox and, a blue sky. Mm. And, there was just no effort put into... here, there's, a mountain range going around it, which, again, is easy because it's Cali, so you just put some regular green mountain around you, but he could have done something. I think he nailed the braking bumps and acceleration bumps on this track.
I would agree.
I think this is what I was hoping everything would be. It's really challenging, but still rideable, and it's rewarding, but also challenging, I guess. The ruts are absolutely perfect in my opinion.
Yeah, ruts are pretty good.
And I feel like it just flows really well.
Okay.
And yeah, and this was the only actual race I got to do with you guys, so that helps.
True. Yeah, how do you compare this to Fox 1? Because I feel like since they are basically the same track, it's so good that we get to compare them. The progression throughout the year from Stone Rider is pretty good.
Night and day different, in my opinion. So much better. The scaling's a lot better, I think some of the jumps that were a little small seem better. Though I like the width of the track. I don't know if he widened it. It feels like it's wider.
Oh, it's way wide. You go play round 1 again after playing this, it's so much wider. It's double, at least double. It might be more than double the width. Round 1 is the skinniest track of the year. It's really, really skinny, and it's yeah, he got wider basically every week.
I think I feel like there are multiple options in the corners too. You can take different lines through the corners and still come out fairly similar. There's obviously a premier line, but at least it's close. And even through some of the sections, the roller section, there's 2 or 3 viable options there. Yeah, Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's the track that you have the most ability to move around. It's also, I still think, really fun, and I think he nailed the roughness. Yeah.
And yeah, I think the difficulty is really good as well. The realism's
Yeah.
good. If any, it's a little bit overscaled in my opinion. I think he went a little bit too far in the width, and that's just me.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
Everybody has their own opinion on that, but I think he went a little bit too wide. Other than that, I think like the scale, like the length of jumps, like in the length of straights and the hills, and most everything else, the ruts, the roughness, everything is nailed. It's just a little bit too wide in my opinion, just a little bit too much. I'd like it to be a little bit more technical. But yeah, like you said it was your favorite. I would have to almost agree and say this one's my second favorite, besides Unadilla. Yeah, this is a very good track. Scaling is much better on this one compared to Fox 1. I would say so much better. The scaling is on this one.
So much better.
Not the width, again, but my opinion. But the length, I would say, and the hills and the size of the jumps is very, very good. But yeah, and it raced really good too. It raced so good.
It did race really good. And I think
and
that's because
it's super fun.
There's tons of lines, like specifically like a corner that I think explains that well is in front of the mechanics area. There's like a hard right-hander. It's before the S section, and there's like I think 3 different lines you can take there that I've taken on fast laps before, and it comes out pretty close where I think you could do them in a race and not lose time. Yeah, definitely my personal favorite.
Yeah, and I think he nailed the roughness too.
Yeah.
It's just not like it's thoughtful roughness, and that's what I like to see. I like it to be rough and difficult and challenging and hard, but I like to be thoughtful, and it's not like I don't want it to be like random, and so
Right.
it's not like when it's like Thunder Valley. I wasn't necessarily complaining about the difficulty. It's just like it just didn't work with the game. It was too random, and it got Poboso physics. It just wasn't right. And when you make stuff like this, I'd say this is just as hard as Thunder Valley roughness. I think this track is like it has bumps. It's a difficult track, not like crazy difficult, but you know,
Sure.
it's
I think blend. It's hard, but it's not.
And
it's not overly difficult.
I think he could make it harder if he wants, but I think the difference is the thoughtfulness of it, like where he places the bumps, how big the bumps are, if he's placing on the inside or the outside, and he just thinks it through more instead of just using a random bump tool. And I think that's the difference. Like, so this track could be harder if you wanted to, and I think it would still be fine. Like, it could be rougher if you wanted to make it. But as long as he just kept the same thoughtfulness as he did everywhere else, it'd be fine. But, I mean, this track is already pretty rough. So.
Would you say, I was just going to say, I would say this is probably the roughest track of the year.
It's up there with Thunder Valley, for sure.
Well, I guess Thunder Valley is, yeah.
But other than that, yeah. I think besides Thunder Valley.
All right, this one would be easy for me too. I'm ready to go. And then I will add up and I will. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to do rating now. Bye. You know, I kind of forgot that I had face cam on there, and I just kind of did like a, you know what I mean? Anyways. Yeah, then the skybox on this is so good too. The skybox looks so realistic. Skybox is really, really good on this track. I'd have to agree with Doc on that one. Why does that keep opening? Yeah, I'm down to do some WSX after this. Definitely down. So, let's see. For realism, number 1, I'm going to give it a pretty high score. This is a pretty good track for realism. It's just a little bit wide. I'm going to give it a 9. Just because it is a little bit too wide. Raceability, I'm going to give it like a 7. It's not as good raceability as Unadilla, I feel like. Like there's places to pass, but it wasn't amazing, I feel like. So I'm gonna give it a 7. It was pretty one-lined. Yeah, for raceability, it was pretty one-lined. In most places, it wasn't the easiest to pass. There's a few places like the rollers was good, down this hill was good, into this corner was good. Trying to think. Oh, mechanics area. These 2 corners were good. But yeah, wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. Pretty average, actually above average, but nothing to be amazed by. So I'm going to give raceability a 7. For number 8, oh, not number 8. For fun factor, I think this track was very fun. I have a lot of fun on this track. Again, this is another track that I come on a lot. It is a very fun track. You can kind of just come on here, spin laps. It's difficult enough to keep you entertained. It's not like easy where you're wide open all the time and you're like lose concentration. It is a pretty difficult track. There's lots of fun lines here. The ruts are nice. It's just fun and flowy. I think what it is super flowy, and that makes it really fun. You can just link up lines. You can link up different corners and jumps, and it's difficult enough to keep you entertained. It's a pretty fun track. So I'm going to give that a 9 as well. And last but not least, we have the environment. I'm probably going to give that a 9. The environment's pretty freaking good. I'm going to give it a 9. 9 environment. It's simple, and you didn't have to do much for the environment here, obviously. But you just look at this, and it just looks like a nice, detailed environment. Like, these fences really do good. And the inside banners, the pipes, this area, and the Supercross tracks really does help the environment, to be honest. Yeah, but the picket fences really help. It's just a good track. Yeah, so the environment is getting a 9 from me. So overall, it's going to be a. Let me get my calculator out. Nine plus 9 plus 9 plus 7 divided by 4. Oh, oopsies. 9 plus 7 plus 9 plus 9 divided by 4 equals a 8.5. So now taking that second place spot. So there it is, boys. There's the list. Let me get everything in order so me and Doc can compare. So in first we have Unadilla with a 8.75. In second, we have Fox Raceway 2. Fox 2, and that has a 8.5 rating. In third, we have just trying to see real quick. In third, we have Iron Man with a 8.25 rating. In fourth, we have Redbud with an 8.0 rating. In fifth, we have, let's see, 7.75, 0.75. In fifth, we have, it's between Southwick and Millville. I'm trying to think which one I like more because they're tied. They're tied for fifth. Actually, I can just put them tied for fifth. So I will put Southwick 7.75. And fifth tied is also Millville with a 7.75 rating. Oh no. It's Washougal, not Millville. It's Southwick and Washougal that are tied. Not Millville. Washougal. In 7th, we have Millville, I believe. Yeah. Millville in 7th. In 8th, we have Budds Creek. In 9th. We have... Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. In 9th, we have Fox 1. I did not think it would be this high, to be honest. Fox 1. In 10th, we have Hangtown. In 11th, we have Thunder Valley. And last, and certainly least, we have High Point in 12th. So there's my list. I'm going to go through it one more time for you guys. Let me know what you guys think. So in first, we have Unadilla. Second, we have Fox 2. Third, we have Ironman. Fourth, we have Redbud. Tied for 5th and 6th, we have Southwick and Washougal. In 7th, we have Millville. 8th, we have Budds Creek. 9th, we have Fox 1. 10th, we have Hangtown. 11th, Thunder Valley. And 12th, High Point. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's a pretty good list. I'm pretty happy with this list. Let me speak to Daco. El Daco Taco. I'll undeafen now and see what his list is. Dakiwaki, are you ready?
Bro, I'm ready.
Are you ready, Doc?
I am ready. It's interesting, but I'm ready.
I have an interesting list too. Not what I thought it would be at all, to be honest.
Like some things are where they should be.
Yeah.
Some things I feel like are odd.
Oh,
right.
Would you like to go first?
Do you want to go from top to bottom or bottom to top? Or
Let's go bottom to top to build it up.
High Point.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's go off of each other. So yeah. So 12, I have High Point as well. What rating did you give High Point?
Okay, so I did a 15.
Wait, what? Oh, you did it way different than I did.
How did you do it?
So what I did is I'm doing it out of 10, and I'm taking the averages. So for High Point, I gave Realism 2. I gave I got a dono or something. Oh, Fixie! Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much, buddy. Let me mute.
W Fixie.
Thank you so much, Fixie. I appreciate you, man. Hell yeah. Hey, Ryder. I want to say you are really cute. Eyebrows are perfect. Them lips. Can I have your Snapchat?
So
of course.
I think
Let me know.
we probably should have done this the same way, but that's okay.
Anyways, we can do it kind of the same. So did you rate like each individual category?
Yeah, but I deleted them all.
Oh, shoot. Okay, well, I gave Realism a 2. I gave Raceability a 3. I gave Fun Factor a 7 just because I like that track. Mm-hmm. It's fun for me. And I gave the Environment a 1.
I mean, dang. I don't think I gave anything a 1 on any track.
Thank you, Fixie. I appreciate you, buddy.
Dang, you were giving it to him. I mean, yeah, I bet you were close. So what was your average? What was your average?
So I added them all up and divided by 4 for an average. And I got a 3.25 average.
That's close because you dive 15 to 40. It's close. We're probably pretty close on that.
All right, up next, you want to do 11th?
Fox 1.
And really,
Yeah.
in 11th, I have Thunder Valley.
Okay.
Interesting.
What
Do you
was
remember?
your rating?
Okay, so for my rating for Thunder Valley, it was a 4.25 average. What was yours?
I gave it 18. So it'd be 18 out of 40.
So again, kind of close.
Kind of close.
And so for realism, I gave it a 5. For raceability, I gave it a 4. For fun, I gave it a 1. And for environment, I gave it a 7. It was a pretty good environment.
Dang, you're grinding on the ones with them. Holy.
I think that was my last one of the list.
All right.
But the environment
Next?
kind of saved it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, up next, let's do 10th. What do you got?
Thunder Valley.
Interesting. In 10th, I have Hangtown. I bet you it's
I
not
feel
10th
like
for
we're all
you.
gonna be close.
What did you rate it?
It was a 19 out of 20.
I think I rated it higher than yours because mine was a 5. Oh, wait. 19 out of 20. 5 out of 10. Oh, yeah, no, that's really close. That's super close. Yeah. Oh, wait, no. Oh, never mind. You're talking about Fox 1?
Yeah.
Fox 1 is in
Yeah.
10th?
Yeah.
What was in 11th? Sorry for you.
What was in left? Oh, Fox 1.
Oh, okay. So why? I wish you would have saved your ratings. Why'd you put Fox
I'm-
1 in 11th?
Hold on. Because what was the worst one? Oh, I can go up and look at it now because I just control Z a bunch of things.
Let's go.
4 for realism, 5 raceability, 4 for fun, 5 environment.
Oh, okay. I gave it a higher environment score for Fox 1. You just what'd you give it for realism?
4.
What'd you give it for race?
For race, 5.
And what about fun?
4.
Okay, that's where the difference is. Okay. Yeah. You just don't like the track and idea. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's pretty similar. Okay. Yeah. So in 10th, I have Hangtown, and what did you have in 10th?
Thunder Valley was in 10th.
Okie dokie. Interesting. Yeah, Hangtown, I gave it a 8 for realism. I don't know why I gave it an 8 for realism, if I'm being honest.
L.
I gave Hangtown a 6 for raceability, but I gave it a 3 for fun because I hated that track, and I gave it a 3 environment.
L. Yeah, that track was mid.
Yeah, it was pretty mid. Want to move on?
Yep.
What do you got for
So
ninth?
this is 9th.
Yep.
9th, I have Hangtown.
Oh, okay. We have pretty similar stuff so far. Yeah,
Yeah, we're
ninth
just
I
kinda
have Fox
flip-flopping.
1. Yeah, ninth I have Fox 1.
So I have my scores for a lot of them, but I'm missing the bottom 3 of my scores. But for Hangtown, I have 5 on realism,
Okay.
4 on raceability,
Okay.
5 on fun,
Okay.
and a 6 on environment.
Hangtown. Can you? Oh wow. Okay. What'd you give it for environment? 6? Hello?
Yes, environment 6.
Interesting. Okay. I give it a 3. I wonder why we thought the environment was so because we've both been there in real life, obviously. So I just thought it was kind of bland. I feel like there's a lot of dead grass in real life. I feel like feel like it was just off to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it was odd. Just odd.
Okay. Yeah, I gave Fox 1 ninth, and I gave it ninth because I gave it a 5 for realism. I gave it a 4 for raceability. I gave it 8 for fun, and I gave it 7 for environment. I thought it had a pretty good environment. It was all right. But yeah, I just have fun on Fox 1. But the racing and the realism wasn't the best for me.
Okay.
We had similar scores in racing and realism.
Fair.
All right, want to move on?
Yep. Next, I have Buds.
Hey, same. Yep. In 8th, I have Bud's Creek. And I did not think it would be this far low at all going into this. I thought Buds would be pretty high up for me because I enjoy Buds.
Same. Very the next like few I'm kind of tripping up, but yeah. Same. That was round 10.
Yeah, that was round 10. 7.
Yeah, I don't have my scores for 10, 11, or 12. Everything else I have scores for.
Yeah, I gave Bud's Creek a 7. Which is interesting.
Dang, you scored everything pretty high.
Yeah, I gave Fox 6. I gave Bud 7. I do enjoy Buds. I gave it a 9 for fun factor. That's how much I enjoy it. It's just going back and reviewing it with you. It's like everything else was low. So it was a 5 for realism, and it was a 6 for raceability. So very average scores for those. And the environment was an 8.
For that. Yeah. No, I mean that's fair. Obviously, I agree because we got the same thing.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Iron Man.
What? Really?
Yeah, I know,
I can't believe it.
I'm actually really surprised because I actually enjoy it a lot.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. Very, very mid pack, which is I don't know. I don't necessarily. I think the environment held it back for me. I don't have my scores, but that's probably I did it pretty low in environment,
Really?
and that's probably why.
I thought maybe we were looking at different angles or different parts of the environment, but I rated it pretty higher in environment. Let me see.
It's the skybox for me.
Oh, I didn't. You know what? I didn't even look at the skybox.
It's just green with a blue line in the middle of it.
Wow, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I gave it a 8 on environment.
Yeah, I think I gave it a 5 or a 4.
Wow. What'd you give it? Do you remember what, like, somewhat? Do you remember, like, raceability and realism?
Let me see what's something that's close to it. So it tied with. This is a tie with my next one, by the way. It's same points on my next one, and so on race, I gave that one a 6.5. The next one, fun, an 8. And realism a 5, but I think realism was higher on Iron Man, and environment was lower on Iron Man.
I gave realism a higher score on Iron Man. I gave it a 7 because the bumps and the ruts were so realistic, in my opinion. They were so nice.
I think I gave it a 7 as well, and environment was just low.
Yeah, and then for raceability, I gave it an 8. And for fun, I gave it a 10. I gave it a 10 because it was my most fun track of the year. 10.
A 10?
Yep, 10 for fun on Iron Man.
Dang.
What'd you give it? Do you remember?
On fun, probably like a 7 or an 8. That, I guess.
Let's go, Kyle. Thank you so much, buddy.
All right.
I appreciate
Ready?
that. Thank you for the 5, buddy. Thank you, man. We gotta play tomorrow, unfortunately. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. All right. Anyways, sorry.
What is this?
What is up next?
This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th.
Oh wait.
Millville.
What did we say?
Wait.
What were we on? Were we on 8?
We were
Thank you,
on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We were on 7.
But you put Iron Man at 8, right? Or did you put it at 7?
No, I put it at 7. I put Buds at 8.
Oh yeah. You
Okay.
put it was at 8. I didn't. I completely forgot to say mine for 7. Mine was Millville for 7.
Oh yeah, that's right.
At 7, I had Millville, and I gave it a score of 7.25.
Okay.
And
For realism?
for realism, I had
Oh.
6
Interesting.
because it wasn't rough. It was so smooth.
Well, you'll see in a minute why I say it's interesting. Okay, carry on. What'd you have for raceability?
I had 6 as well. I feel like I couldn't pass on that
Okay.
track.
Okay.
For fun, I had 9. It is a fun track. 9 for
Okay,
fun.
interesting.
And for environment, I thought the environment was nailed with an 8.
Dang. Okay.
It's just the raceability and realism were low for me, just because it wasn't very rough, and I feel like it was pretty one-lined.
Okay.
So yeah, Millville gets the number 7 spot for me. All right, go ahead.
Millville.
Okay, sweet.
But here's what's interesting about our scores. Okay. I gave it a 5 on realism,
Okay,
a 6.5 on raceability.
okay,
Fun factor was an 8,
okay.
and environment was a 6.5.
Really?
Like I rated it all pretty low, and it like we got similar spots. I actually was pretty. I think I was pretty hard on the tracks. I rated everything pretty low.
Wow.
But
But I feel like our realism and raceability ones are always pretty similar.
Agreed.
I think I just rate them higher for fun and environment. Maybe I'm just not an environment guy, so I just rate them high because I don't really care that much.
Big immersion guy over here, you know.
But yeah, I think yeah. So we had them similar, but
Oh.
in my spot in 6th, which is also tied for, but these are both tied for 5th. But technically in 6th is Washougal with a 7.75 for me. Now for Washougal, I gave it a, what round is Washougal? Is Washougal round 8?
8. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For realism, I gave it an 8.
Okay.
For raceability, I gave it a 6.
Okay.
For fun, I gave it an 8.
Ooh.
And for environment, I gave it a 9.
Ooh.
Yep. Coming out to
Interesting.
7.75 overall.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I got for Washougal.
All right. So breaking into the top 5 now, right?
Yep, top 5. Here we go. Top 5 rundown.
Washougal. And now the scores are very interesting here. Realism, 7.5.
Okay, very similar.
Raceability, 6.5.
You see, we're similar on these every time.
Fun, I gave it a 5.
Oh,
I
interesting.
didn't. Yeah, but yeah. Environment, and then I gave it an 8 on environment.
Okay.
We're pretty close on that one.
Yeah, I feel like ours is always different on fun. Every time it's different on fun.
Yes.
Okay, in 5 for me, in number 5 spot, I have Southwick with a 7.75. It's also
Interesting.
tied with Washougal.
Okay.
So for Southwick, that was round 6, I believe. Yeah. I gave it an 8 for realism. I gave it a 8 for raceability. I gave it a 6 for fun. Not the most fun track to me. And I gave it a 9 for environment.
Okay.
Yep. And
Interesting.
Alrighty.
Remember that when I say that. Okay, 4th, I went with Redbud.
Okay, I did too. I went with Redbud in 4th as well. You know what? I thought Redbud would be lower down on the list. I don't.
Yeah.
To be honest, for me.
Well, okay, so my 3rd and 4th, I am kind of there. I don't understand like that. I don't know. It makes sense, but like I don't know if Doc was the picket just on his own. I don't know that I would put it this way. But when I do this score, I think this is a more fair score in my opinion. But anyway, so Redbud for realism, I did a little 7.5 action.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Raceability, I did 6.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Fun, 7.5.
Okay.
And environment, 7. Little 7.
Our scores are very different, but it's in the same spot.
Interesting.
So I gave Redbud an 8 overall.
Okay.
I gave it 9 for realism.
Okay.
I gave it a 4 for raceability.
Okay.
I gave it a 10 for fun.
Okay.
And I gave it a 9 for environment.
Okay.
So the raceability is like a 4. And what did you have? Do you remember what you had the raceability at?
6.
Okay. What'd you have the fun at?
7.5.
Okay.
And I did rely. I let chat give me a little input. Like I was trying to do it as more like not necessarily just what Doc. I did because like I think that's one of my most fun tracks.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I think I would have put this one in third. I think I would put Redbud in third and not what is actually in third. But I think it is more of a fair scoring, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You know what's weird is I would have put it like higher on the list. I would have put it like 5th, 6th ish.
Yeah.
If like I had, yeah.
Okay.
You ready to move on?
Yep. Top 3, Daddy.
Wait.
Did
you already rated? Where did you put Iron Man? Do you remember? Where on the list?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Number 3, Southwick.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah. This is the most surprising one to me because, I mean, I will say those like I did like 5 laps as we were talking, and it was one of those ones where when you muted, like I kind of just wanted to keep playing.
Really?
And, like I was kind of enjoying. I was like, oh, this is fun. So I put the fun factor higher than I would have yesterday. So,
do you remember your scores?
yeah, I got them right here.
Okay, let's hear 'em.
9 on realism,
Okay.
7 on raceability,
Okay.
6 for fun,
Okay.
which yesterday would have been like a 1.5. Environment, we got a nice crispy 8.
Okay. Our scores were the same for fun, and our environment score was similar. You had a 9 for realism. I had an 8 for realism. Raceability, I think you had a 6, and I had an 8 for raceability as well.
I had a 7.
7. Okay, so our scores were pretty similar.
Yeah.
Interesting. At number 3, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was gonna say, what did you have for third?
For number 3, I have Iron Man.
Interesting.
I don't know how you got it down in 7th, but okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I gave Iron Man a 8.25 out of 10. Putting it in third. For realism, I gave it a 7. It would have been lower because of the weird scaling. It would have been lower, but I gave it a 7 because of the bumps and the ruts, and I felt like those were so good and realistic. And then for raceability, I thought that was good. That was an 8. For fun, it's my most fun track of the year, in my opinion. I gave it a 10. And for environment, I gave it an 8. And maybe that's a little bit high. I didn't even notice the skybox. I'm not an environment guy, so I'm not too harsh on it.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think again, this is one I don't know. I might put it higher if it was on my list, but
yeah.
Anyway,
it's kind of cool though seeing how our list turned out different than how we thought they would be. I kind of like it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay,
Runner
number
up.
2. I'm excited. What do you got?
Uni.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good
Unadilla.
choice. Yep.
As just very, I mean, like very, very similar scores to, I mean, honestly, I think you could toss this up. Obviously, there's only one track after this, so it's Fox 2. So, like, I think you could go either way on this. Like, this is just literally preference.
Yeah.
But I went realism on 9.
Yeah.
9 on realism, 9 on raceability.
Yep. I put both those at 9 as well.
9 on fun.
Yeah.
And then I put it at 6 for environment.
No way.
Which I think I could probably push it to a 7 or something, but
Jeez
that's what we went with with the environment, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. At my number 2 spot, I put Fox Raceway 2 with a
Yeah,
total
yeah,
score
yeah.
of 8.5. And for
I remember. I'm curious what you did.
for realism, I put it at a 9.
Okay.
For raceability, I put it at a 7.
Interesting.
For fun, I put it at a 9. And for environment, I put it at a 9.
Interesting.
And it came out to a 8.5. So very good scores.
Yeah.
Just didn't beat out the last one, which is obviously
Okay,
for
so
me.
for Fox, I did realism 9,
Okay.
raceability 9,
Okay.
fun 9,
Okay.
and environment 7.
That's so weird. Okay.
Yeah,
So we had basically the same scores, just in different categories.
correct.
Cool. Why'd you give raceability a 9?
I think that's probably the track I've done the most racing on, like even just like pub lobbies and stuff. And I feel like there's always like I'm always able to move around and make passes.
Okay. Yep. I can see that.
And then you put all right. What are your scores for uni?
Yeah, at Unadilla, at the number 1 spot, I have Unadilla coming in at 8.75 total score. And here we go for uni. Let's see, what round was it? 9. Okay.
9. Yeah.
So for realism, I have it at a 9.
Okay.
For raceability, I have it at a 9.
Okay.
For fun, I have it at a 9.
Okay.
And for environment, I have it at an 8. And so
Ooh,
the difference
so
is the environment between us.
yeah, we got literally identical scores looking for the environment.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a W. I mean, I feel like it's kind of what I expected this list to be, but also
I think the biggest shocks
Not-
for me from you is Southwick and Iron Man.
I agreed 100%. Yeah.
Very shocking.
But I think that has to do with me, like, again, if I didn't ride Southwick today, there's no way I would have put it that. I think I would have flip-flopped those two. But after riding them and looking at it, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just was vibing with Iron Man today and was vibing with Southwick. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very strange.
So Fixie tells me in chat that this whole rating thing took 3 hours and 20 minutes, which is okay. We want to go slow anyways because we're streaming, or you're streaming till midnight.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
we can take our time. Yeah, I've been. This was fun. Had a good time. Very interesting.
Are you getting off?
I'm not going to. Are you going to?
No.
Okay.
Blue said, "Now hear me out. Southwick on a 125.
Oh.
Have you done that yet?"
No, that would be terrible.
A few people have told when we were on Southwick. A few people told me that they thought it would be good.
Any sand track on a 125 is terrible. Don't listen to them. No.
Yeah, I feel like. All right, let me. I have a. Do you want to do a? What do you want to do?
I kind of want to put a dedicated server up on the Motomart WSX track. Thoughts?
Oh, I'm down. I haven't. Let me download it. Let me get that and talk to chat for a minute, and then I'll join.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. Alrighty, boys. Let me go through chat here. Ryder, what's on your bed? Well, Fixie, I'll show you what's on my bed. Yeah. Oh, sorry. This is what's on my bed. It's my blanket and blankets. Generally, what is usually on a bed is blankets, and that's what these happen to be. Is blankets. Anyways, these are blankets. They cover you at night to keep you warm. And so like you get cold in bed, usually like, I'm cold. And then you put a blanket on over your shoulder and you warm up. So that one's how that one works. So that's cool. Yeah. If you guys become a member, you get all those emotes. So get good. True, those emotes are looking good. Thoughts on Sandtrack on a 150 though? You're an L, Fixie. You're an absolute L. I don't want to hear it. You're so mid. I don't want to hear it, Klaus. You're mid. You're mid. Well, what's normally on a bed is a woman. I mean, men autocorrection. Yeah, I hate when autocorrect does that. It's kind of an L. They really need to get their stuff together at the autocorrect facility in the place. You know. Can you show us what? Show you what do you want me to show you? Track link. This is my room. Like my address. I don't know about that one, but yeah. Anyways, how you get in a blankets and warm up? Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me set up a dedicated server on WSX Motomart thingy. You know what I mean? Let's see here. We got I think this is the one I want to do. Yeah. Okay, and we'll go that, we'll go that, we'll go that, we'll go here. Okie dokie. LSX, you're an L, Mustard. I don't want to hear it. Ryder, get Hemi's attention. He wanted to play WSX with you. Well, I don't know how I'm supposed to do that, but, you know. Anyways. Oh, you know. It is Cardiff, yeah. Hemi. There you go. Bro, I live in Canada. That's an L. That's an absolute L, if I'm being honest with you. Oh, I'm going to restart my Deddy real quick and allow more people to get in. My audio sounds garbage. Your audio sounds garbage. I don't want to hear it. You bozo. Actually, I do think I got to turn this up a bit. What would go like there? Okay. I'm going to join the server now, boys. Thoughts on that? Thoughts on that, boys? Imagine being named Ryder. Like, how about you go ride? How about you go for a ride on dock? Shake my head. Facts. I've been saying that. Ryder, I'm gonna go shower. Want to come? Yeah, sure. Just send me the addy. I'll be there in a bit. If that's okay with you. Sun is shining in the sky. Ain't a cloud inside. Ask if he's 18 first, right? Age is just a number. Fixie, age is just a number. So, it's just a concept. You know what I mean? It's just a concept made up by the government. You know what I mean? It's not even real. Jesus Christ, Emerson. Stop. Sun is shining in the sky. You're a bozo, Emerson. I don't want to hear it. Absolute bozo in chat. Alrighty, boys. Honestly, might end the stream, to be honest. I don't feel like playing bikes. I think I might end the stream. I wish I could play another game on stream besides bikes or do something else. That's why I've been doing all these like tier list videos, and I've been tier list streams, and I've been doing all these like ranking streams. It's just I don't feel like playing bikes, and it's like the closest thing I can get to like relating it to bikes without like actually playing bikes. You know what I mean? And like the kit, like the drip kits, and all this stuff. I just don't want to play bikes, boys. I'll do like a lap and stream a different game. I can't, Fixie. I can't. Don't you understand, Fixie? Go check out my kit on Discord and rate it real quick. It's good. I like it. PC not good enough? No, it's good enough. I just, the channel won't do good. Like, it won't. It will hurt the channel, let's say. The algorithm won't like that very much. And so I'm thinking about, what I'm thinking is I'm thinking about making a Twitch and just streaming other games on there. Is the plan. Is there a server password? There is. But yeah, the plan is I want to make a Twitch and just stream other games on there. I think is what I want to do. Anyways. I'm going to undeafen in Ducky?
Oi, bruv.
Oi, bruv. You can release the password to your viewers if you want.
I don't even know what the password is. Is it the same one you sent me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, how else did you get in here, Doc? Jeez,
your admin password.
Oh.
I was like, what's his password? I was like, oh, I'll just join on his admin password. Oh, I died. I'm so bummed you're not grinding COD, dude.
I might get it and play it on controller. I might.
Well, you better download that thing. It's gonna take you freaking... I'm nervous mine's not even ready because I didn't have an update today, and I checked it.
Daddy?
What?
How big is the download?
For the campaign, it was like 40 gigs, and then but I'm pretty sure it's like 120
for everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I be scared?
Should be scared of what?
Your face?
No, I'm very nice.
Okay.
I want to quad that so bad.
What do you want to quad?
The rhythm before the finish.
It's even tough on a 450, I feel like. But I feel like this track is hard.
To
clear at the big
This is my like first couple laps on it. What's a fast lap for you on this?
I don't know. I haven't really spun any laps here.
Everyone was telling me about this yesterday. It's a pretty good track so far. Oh my word. The whoops are so far apart.
Been saying
Holy.
that, Doc.
What'd you say?
Said I've been saying that. The whoops are far apart.
I saw. Oh, Klotz joined? Dang, we're about to get
Klotz?
barked on. Yeah, you thought. Just too quick with it.
Facts. Boys, I'm going to end the stream. I don't feel like playing bikes, if I'm being honest. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then Saturday is going to be MX of Nations. Get ready, boys. Be ready for that. Anyways, bye, boys. Love you. Bye. Bye-bye.